sponsor.
They're great.
Also, we couldn't do it without Cutter's Pizza.
Absolutely.
Our team of the week this week, Weaver Bearcats. Congratulations to them picking up their second win of the year. We had Coach Ashley on tonight. Cutter's Pizza awards to a member, awards a member as well with our plaques. Thanks to them, Robert Smith and the gang. Also, Dr. Pepper, our title sponsor.
Absolutely.
Man, they've helped us through the night here, making it through the show. And we thank them for being our title sponsor. Green Oil, Gary Harris and the gang down there. Colt, my son, working down there. Brian and Mike Saxon and all those guys. Go down and see them if you need any fuel, kerosene, or anything like that. Farmers Insurance, Nicole Ponder. Mention them. Cutter's Pizza, awards member. Thumbsuckers.
Oh, yeah.
You want some great food. Every night during the week, they've got a different menu. Every night during the week, go down there and see them. On Time Fashions, we appreciate them. Green Stores for our outfits we got. And Betty's Barbecue. And I want to tell you something, Jackson. You ain't had a chance to get back there to it yet. But chili and vegetable soup is back there on the table.
Oh, yeah.
And Betty's Barbecue showed out tonight.
It was good.
With some great chili. If you hadn't had Betty's Barbecue chili, you need to go by and enjoy it.
Hey, it was on point. I did actually sneak me some there. But before we sneak out here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We will catch you next week. Tune in for more high school football action. It's the Pigskin Roundup on TV 24.
See you then.
It is the final week of the regular season, and tonight, Thursday Night Lights has made a stop at Driver Stadium at Gardendale High School for a non-region battle of 6A heavyweights as the Rockets of Gardendale play host to the Hueytown Golden Gophers. This is the AHSAA Game of the Week presented by AmFirst. Mickey Shaddricks along with Coach Rick Rhodes. And, Coach, we've got a great game to wrap up the regular season. Two teams getting ready for the postseason. Of course, Gardendale coming in after that incredible one-point win last week over Mountain Brook, giving them the Region 5 championship. Hueytown's on a roll. They've won 5 straight. They'll be the second seed out of Region 4.
Yeah, it's really kind of a preview of a very exciting playoff season to come.
Let's take a look at key players for tonight's matchup, our Luma Dentistry key players. Coach, who are you keeping an eye on in this one?
Well, Earl Woods, first of all, of course, he's a returning All-State player, Mr. Football in the state of Alabama. He's committed to Jacksonville State. He is the ultimate dual-threat quarterback. He can beat you a lot of different ways. For Gardendale, Kelby Collins, the number 9 player in the state of Alabama, committed to the University of Florida. He is a great combination of speed and power at 6'4" and 260. He will be a force.
And when we return, we'll have our blueprints to victory for both teams as we continue from Driver Stadium in Gardendale.
Retirement planning, investment planning, education planning, ad valorem, blah, 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 blah. Financial planners love to show their version of a perfect retirement, but what about your perfect retirement? At AmFirst Financial, we'll get to know you first, so we can make a plan for the person you'll be years from now. And future you will be glad we planned ahead. So call AmFirst Financial today. You'll thank you later.
Step One works so hard to get you in the perfect car. Premier Chevrolet is now Chevrolet Bessemer, powered by Step One Automotive Group. Same great people, same great community partner, plus the Step One advantage. No hassle, market-based pricing, and extra discounts for pre-orders. Visit us at ChevroletBessemer.com or scan the code to learn more about how we serve our community every day. Chevrolet Bessemer, now powered by Step One Automotive Group.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
And we continue to count down to kickoff tonight. Hueytown here at Driver Stadium getting set to take on the Gardendale Rockets. Really looking forward to this non-region matchup tonight, a final tune-up for the postseason, which both of these teams will hope to make an impact in the first round of the playoffs beginning next week. And Coach, now time to take a look at our Rob Walker Architect Blueprints to Victory. At Rob Walker Architects, they believe the architect's role extends beyond the traditional services. What do you believe is the key for each team tonight?
Well, I've got here quarterback Earl Woods for Hueytown, but I should say this is going to be a quarterback battle because Tyler Nelson for Gardendale is an excellent quarterback, and there'll be a match there. But for Woods, he's got to have protection, and he's got to get them big chunk plays, both with his arm and with his legs. For Gardendale, they got to decide, are we going to maximum pressure or are we going to maximum defend? They're going to have to probably do a mixture of both. Special teams and field position have been big for them all year, and they will be again tonight.
And the kickoff is coming up from Driver Stadium in Gardendale. Stay with us on the AHSAA Game of the Week presented by AmFirst.
Get more this fall in Sylacauga with the power of 3. Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan. The time to buy is now, with more value and selection.
Long before we became a new car dealer, we were a used car dealer, and we know used cars better than anyone. Sarah has hard-to-find inventory arriving daily from around the country, with over 1,200 pre-owned cars and trucks to choose from.
Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga, serving Alabama since 1981.
And just about set for kickoff on a gorgeous night for high school football in Gardendale as the Rockets play host to Hueytown, coached by that man, Greg Patterson, whose team 1 year off making an appearance in the 6A state championship game, barely losing to Clay Chalkville last season. They'll be back in the postseason this year, and there you see Chad Eads. He is in his 5th season as the head coach at Gardendale, as his team a region champion. Gardendale hasn't been a region champ since 2006 when they were in Class 5A.
Two really exceptional football coaches. Greg Patterson is 23-2 in his career in region play, and of course Chad has built one of the best programs in all of 6A as well at Gardendale.
And our Sarah Automotive kickoff will go out of bounds. We'll have a penalty to start the game, and as we start this game, it's 64 degrees. Again, not much of a breeze, just a great night for football as great fall weather across the state of Alabama continues.
And of course, both these offenses revolve around their quarterbacks, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that as the night progresses. But two very, very talented signal callers in this game.
No question about that. A lot of the offensive production for both these teams occurs because of the two guys at quarterback, and there you see the quarterback for Gardendale, Tyler Nelson.
What kind of shot are they wanting you to do right now?
Actually, that's Caden Magruder.
Let's go ahead and get the cheerleaders right quick. Come on, come on.
So we're going to tee this back up and kick off again. Another Sarah Automotive kickoff.
I always thought that was a good move. Make them kick it again.
And they do. And it will be fielded at the 27-yard line by the up man for Gardendale, Jonathan Harris. And so the Rockets will start the first series of the game from their own 38-yard line. There you see number 21, DeCorian Thomas, making the tackle on special teams. Here is a look at Tyler Nelson, the starting quarterback for Gardendale. And tell you the season that this young man has had and the game he had last week, you know, all the talk about Gardendale going for 2 and trying to win the game in regulation. It worked out. He had 4 rushing touchdowns in the game. Also had a couple of interceptions returned for touchdowns by Mountain Brook, but Coach Eads was very happy the young man did not let it faze him. He had an outstanding game, and he starts this game with a nice pass out of the backfield. Jackson Firestone picking up good yardage. There you see the starting offense for Gardendale. This group averaging right at 35 points a game. About 382 yards of total offense, 268 of that coming by way of the ground game. And this first down play is stuffed for no gain by the Hueytown defensive front.
Yeah, just a little bit more about Nelson. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's take a look at this Hueytown defense.
Hueytown starting defense, only giving up about 25 points a game. And here is Nelson on the keep, and he's able to get around the right edge and steps out of bounds after a nice gain, shoved out across the way by Kobe Wynn Henderson, the senior linebacker.
Well, you might say this guy runs pretty good for a quarterback. Well, he should. 1,458 yards on the year, 9.6 yards a carry, and 18 rushing TDs. He averages 162 yards on the ground, 273 yards of total offense just by himself, and he's committed to the University of Tennessee at Martin.
11-yard gain and an Amherst first down, and another nice play behind the line of scrimmage for Hueytown as they shot the gaps, and big loss on first down.
Well, they ran double edge pressure, and this is supposed to be the zone read, and I tell you, it was almost a handoff to 66 because he was right there in the backfield, and that outside edge player, when Nelson tried to pull the ball, he was there as well. Excellent defensive scheme.
Well, actually, it was not a first down, so now this makes it 4th down. Apologize for that. It is a punting situation, and a fair catch called for at the 17-yard line. And so Hueytown's defense comes through, and their offense will take the field for the first time. And we talked about their quarterback and the young man there, Earl Woods, taking the field, the reigning Mr. Football for Hueytown, and he is definitely a dynamic player to watch, Coach.
It's kind of like trying to play whack-a-mole. Remember that game when you were a kid? I mean, he's a hard guy to hem up.
And the first down is a pitch to the running back. That is Jaquel Rouser. He is the second leading rusher on the team, behind only the quarterback, Earl Woods. And here's a look at the Hueytown offense. They average about 47 points a game. They have put up a lot of points this season, including last week. They beat Central Tuscaloosa 68-0.
And keep your eye on Rouser now. He averages about 8.3 yards a carry, and he's had 27 catches, 20.48 yards per catch. So he is a big part of this offense.
Gardendale defense. There you see their starting lineup. Got a whistle.
Yeah, we mentioned Collins. Also keep your eye on number 1, Dallas Young, in the secondary. He's a returning second-team All-Stater. The number 24 the number 24 prospect in Alabama, and he is committed right now to the University of Arkansas.
And we've got a quick timeout on the field. And we will take this opportunity to thank our friends at Harvey's on Noble. And we'd like to thank General Manager Sky Owens, because you know, we got the steak upgrade tonight. We got upgraded to steak, and I tell you, it was fabulous.
Well, I mean, it was so good that what I need now is a nap upgrade. I'm telling you, I had that, and it was just outstanding, like it is every week. Anybody that follows our broadcast knows how we feel about Harvey's.
And you followed your steak up with a big piece of cheesecake.
Well, big is actually exceptionally big, and I'm sorry that went over the airways because my wife just heard that, and I will be in trouble.
Harvey's on Noble. Appreciate their hospitality again this week for our crew. This is a 3rd down and 3, and it's going to turn into a 3rd and 8 as the left guard for Hueytown, Philip Dudley, stepped out of his stance before the ball.
5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
A real good pull step by young Mr. Dudley. Unfortunately, it was before the ball was snapped. So That's going to turn this 3rd and short into a 3rd and long.
Hueytown, pretty good 3rd down team this year. They're 48% conversion rate on 3rd down. Coach, what do you like to shoot for when you were a coach?
Well, you want something that's going to give you multiple options. You know, a sprint out or full field read pass, or a dart right over the middle at about 20 yards right there. And that, folks, is Mr. Earl Woods right there.
DeAndre Franklin on the receiving end. And I think the key here, Coach, was the time he had to throw. Yeah,
and of course, that's going to be a real key to this football game. If he has times to set up in that pocket now, he's going to hurt Gardendale. This is a double dig route, one guy short, one guy deep. You try to split the linebackers and hit that hole right in between, and very well done at that time.
So Mr. Earl Woods has thrown for almost 800 yards this season. A big pass play there on the first series for Hueytown, but he will be taken down here by Caden Combs, who is the leading tackler for the Gardendale defense.
Yeah, he has 12 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks on the year. Now, that was a very well-designed defense. They got pressure off the edges to force him up, and those inside guys stayed at home and played the step up just like you're supposed to.
Rouser wrapped up by Jaden Arrington. Short gain there. Nice defensive play by the Rocket defense.
Nice look there at Mason Adams, the diminutive interior defensive lineman, only 285 pounds. That's not really too diminutive, is it?
So 3rd down and 10. Woods looking downfield under heavy pressure way behind the line of scrimmage, and he is going to be sacked back at the 37-yard line by Brian Gilmore, the senior linebacker.
Well, that's a great open field tackle by Brian Gilmore. Now, that time they didn't bring, extra pressure. All right, but great disciplined pass rushing right here. And watch the Gardendale defenders retrace. You saw at the top of your screen, Gilmore, when Woods stepped up, he just retraced back with him, kept leverage on him, and brought him down for a big loss.
And so Hueytown, as did Gardendale, will have to punt after their first offensive possession, and the Rockets will get it back. 1st down at just across the 35-yard line. And like to mention Big Time Entertainment. If you haven't visited Big Time Entertainment, you're in for a treat. It's conveniently located right off Interstate 20 at exit 185 in Oxford. Over 70,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor entertainment, including the most unique indoor karting experience you have ever seen at Big Time Entertainment in Oxford.
You want my Ninja Warrior update for this week?
Yes.
I've got my black pajama outfit, my ninja deal. I do think I need to take a few kung fu lessons before I get involved in that. So I'm working on that right now.
And you need to get that boot off.
And I need to get insurance upgrade too, probably. So
you can't do the Ninja Warrior course, Coach, unless you're 100%. Trust me.
Okay, all right. I'm going to step up my training.
It'll be there when you're ready. So 1st and 10 for Gardendale. About 4 minutes into the first quarter, each team has had it once and forced to punt. So here's Nelson looking to throw on 1st down. Leaves the pocket, and we'll just throw it out of bounds.
Really been impressed with these defenses early in the discipline of their pass rush and the quality of their coverage. Both these quarterbacks are so dangerous when they pull it down, but there's just been nowhere to go. I know one thing, whoever makes metallic gold paint needs to redo their formula, because every team I've seen this year that has that, their helmets look just like that. That paint peels off, and it shouldn't do that. 2nd down. Here's the handoff to Jonathan Harris. Huge gain for Harris. It's going to be an Amherst 1st down and much more as he crosses the 50 to the Hueytown 46-yard line. Jonathan Harris, what a big run. He's rushed for 1,003 yards on the season. Well, it just shows great speed right there and gets to that edge and turns on those afterburners.
Harris gets the call again, wrapped up and slung backwards.
I can pick him up and lay him down.
So 2nd down and 9 for the Rockets. atmosphere tonight at Driver Stadium in Gardendale. Again, almost a playoff atmosphere here on the final week of the regular season. And Harris tries the middle of that Hueytown defense again, picks up about 3. He's going to set up a 3rd down.
Yeah, pretty good push by that Rocket front, knocked the white shirts back pretty good. Hueytown brought the corner blitz that time, but the inside run kind of negated that, and got a solid gain.
3rd and 6. Gardendale 42% conversion rate on the season on 3rd down.
Kind of wonder if they'll treat this as 4-down territory.
Got a very effective field goal kicker, but his longest on the season is 36 yards. Nelson has to take off right away, and we're seeing that Hueytown really putting the pressure on Nelson. That time Keith Green, the junior defensive lineman, credited with the tackle.
Really good hustling play by Green. Really kind of ran himself out of the play. As you look at him retracing again and working back up front and holding that to just a very marginal gain.
So 4th down and 5. And Coach Eads electing to punt and try to pin the Golden Gophers deep here. And the punt sails out of bounds. The official will come forward and mark it off. We'll take a break. No score. First quarter from Gardendale here on the AHSAA Game of the Week, presented by Amherst.
Silicaga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Silicaga.
Mr. President, Bessemer Superhighway is backed up. What are we going to do?
Are you serious? Get me the King Boys.
King Boys Towing is the fastest growing tow and recovery company in Birmingham and surrounding areas for one reason. Our customers are our top priority. Whether your car has been in an accident, is stuck in the driveway and won't start, or you just need a tow to your preferred repair shop, give us a call. Our fleet of flatbed tow trucks will provide courteous and fast service. King Boys Towing, 205-428-3235.
Well, the high school football playoffs are almost here, and WOTM will be with you every step of the way, beginning round 1 next Friday night. What a matchup. We'll see the same Hueytown Golden Gophers that we're watching tonight as they will square off against Benjamin Russell. 7 o'clock kickoff, round 1 of the playoffs on WOTM.
And there will be some speed on the field in that game, just like tonight. Pretty good and very enthusiastic crowd here tonight.
Hueytown starts this drive from inside their own 15. And not much on this first down carry. Good defensive play there by Caden Magruder, wrapping up Rouser for a very short gain.
I've been impressed with the discipline of both these defenses so far.
Woods hands it off to Rouser. And he runs into Magruder once again, but a pretty good pickup here on 2nd down. Going to make it 3rd down and short for Hueytown as they hurry up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 2. Woods to Rouser, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, really stoned inside by that Rocket interior. Tried to bounce it outside, and nice job of contained by the edge player to the right side of the Gardendale defense.
And we have an injured Hueytown player down on the field.
Go have fun.
You know, looking at this game going in on paper, Coach, it really appeared as though a mirror image of each other. You're talking about two teams that really like to rely on the running game, two teams that have quarterbacks that are capable of beating you with their arms and with their legs, primarily their legs, statistically, the way they played this season. But a lot of those rushing yards for both teams really are when passing plays break down and the quarterbacks are able to run the ball.
Yeah, I think Gardendale has a few more called quarterback runs, but I think you're exactly right. These guys are so dangerous when they pull it down. You know, the toughest playing football to defend is the scramble play. because you're not, you have no idea. There's no key to read off of. And when you've got quarterbacks like these two teams have, it makes it extremely difficult. And, of course, this is the other thing the week before the playoffs that is very much a concern is what we just saw a little bit ago is you don't want anybody to get hurt.
And that was Gerald Owens, the sophomore offensive lineman, limping off the field for Hueytown. Big rush, and I think a Gardendale defender got a hand on that punt. It will bounce upfield and be down at around the 47-yard line.
Well, I think he may have as well, Mickey, but if he didn't, he drastically changed that punt.
So Gardendale gets it back on the plus side of the 50. Coming up for my 68 viewers, your Friday night rivals game is Homewood against Jasper. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff coming your way tomorrow night on my 68. And the game will also re-air on WOTM on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. 1st and 10 Gardendale. Here is Harris. And he can't get back to the line of scrimmage. I tell you, we're seeing some good defense here in this first quarter.
I mean, we really are. Anytime that you try to run lateral and you just keep going in a straight line or bubbling back a little bit, that means there's great pursuit and great containment on the outside, and that's exactly what we saw from that Golden Gopher defense.
These two offensives have put up a lot of numbers this year, but so far the defense is getting it done. A little screen pass set up, but it's still well defended as a nice tackle there by Hueytown's Kobe Wynn Henderson.
Well, and as we said about the Gardendale defense, you just have to be impressed by the pursuit. This is a screen that's set up pretty well, but watch the pursuit come from the top of your screen. Do it in a hurry. Mr. Wynn, he looks like a linebacker.
So 3rd down and 13. Nelson steps up in the pocket. Now he will take off. Breaks one tackle at the 48. Ducks his head and gets it inside the 40-yard line. Quite an effort there by Tyler Nelson, the Gardendale quarterback.
Well, you saw right there where he's got 1,400 yards on the year now. A pretty decent job, but Hueytown is going to lose contain on the left side of their defensive line. You got to keep that outside shoulder free, and that time the defensive tackle that side did not do that. He got caught inside.
4th and 1. Gardendale lining up to go for it at the Hueytown 38. Nelson with a long look to the sideline. Offensive coordinator for Gardendale is the son of Coach Chad Eads. And I think the second effort,
I think he's going to be short.
It looks like he's short.
They hit him deep in the backfield. He kind of tried to stumble forward a little bit, but that edge pressure is causing lots of problems.
Like quarterback and running back got tangled up with a football that cost him about a half second as well.
Well, in a game where we thought it was going to be like playing pinball, this has become a daggum street fight. I mean, both these defenses have said we've heard enough about these offenses.
So here's Woods and company back out on the field for Hueytown. His first down pass is completed to T.J. Howell.
Yeah, just a little hitch route. Really, that area was voided, and they took advantage of it and got the ball there in a hurry.
Howell making his 18th catch of the season, makes it 2nd down and 3. Woods with the play fake. Again, all kinds of time. Now here comes pressure, and Woods will just sling it downfield out of bounds.
Yeah, tried to run a deep crossing route off of some play action, but just never ever developed. And pretty good protection initially, but Woods had to get out of the pocket and then just calmly dumped it away.
So it's 3rd down and 3. Woods keeps it and fights forward. It's going to all depend on the spot as Jaden Arrington came up and met him. And they're going to rule it a first down. So it's an Amherst first down for Hueytown.
Yeah, he caught Gardendale in a slant and ran kind of the midline back away from it, but a big hit by the safety to that side.
And here's Rouser straight up the middle for a pickup of 5 on first down, tackled by senior lineman Kelby Collins.
The more active those defensive backs get in playing the running game, the more likely we are to see some kind of play action streak, post, something over the top now to try to take advantage of that aggressiveness.
2nd down and 5. Woods over the middle. Pass is dropped as Rouser is wide open on a little crossing route over the middle.
Yeah, had a little shallow cross. Had one receiver at about 6 yards and the other one right off the heels of the defensive lineman. Probably would have gone for a while, but that's a tough catch. That ball comes out of a big crowd of people and just couldn't haul it in.
So 3rd down and 5. Woods will take off. And here is that element we were talking about earlier. It's just hard to defend this play when everything breaks down and your quarterback has the ability to take off and pick it up on his own.
Well, you can see, first of all, there's no contained player for Gardendale. And second of all, Woods didn't waste any time. When he saw an opening, he took it.
Woods rolling out to his right. Pass downfield, just sailed too high, intended for T.J. Howell. Coverage by Dallas Young.
Yeah, that time Woods tried to kind of wind up on the run and throw it as he was moving without loading his backside. And that ball's going to sail, and that's exactly what happened that time.
2nd down and 10. Delayed give to Rouser. Huge gaping hole up the middle. Rouser is going to have an Amherst first down inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and I think this tempo is bothering Gardendale a little bit. Again, there's that slant. That time they run a little split zone, and they push the slant, which is going to the left of your screen, away and kick it on the edge player and created a nice little seam.
Up the middle they go again. So a nice gain on first down, about 5-yard pickup. First carry for Elijah Hudson, the junior running back.
Yeah, they ran the counter that time. Double pulls.
2nd down and 5. Here is Woods on the keeper as he gets it inside the 20. He was tackled there by Ty Farley, senior linebacker for the Rockets.
Yeah, I thought he was going to pitch the ball right there, but he just ducked it inside and got a couple 3.
Quite a pace here. 3rd down and 1 as Hueytown in the AFS red zone.
This is what they call NASCAR.
Hudson breaking a tackle and takes a shot from Magruder, but he's going to have that Amherst first down. Nice second effort by Elijah Hudson.
Yeah, ran right through the tackle of Connor Hensley. You know, watch him right here. He's going to be hit behind the line, but just keeps those feet moving and that little pause and then reaccelerates.
1st and 10. This is Hudson again. No, that's actually Rouser back in the game.
Yeah, that's that counter again where you have those double pullers. One kicks out, one leads through, and Rouser runs with a lot of authority right behind his pads. And they're going fast and they're getting positive yardage on first down, and that's real trouble for a defense.
2nd down and 5. Woods connects with Rouser, gets a great block from his lineman Gerald Owens, who's back in the game, and Hueytown gets on the scoreboard first.
Yeah, beautiful screen right here, and watch, Woods sets this thing up by looking away from the screen and then putting it right in that open area. Watch Woods bait the defense to his left and then dumps it right back. Blockers out front. We used to call that 3-man blocking scheme in front Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
And the Sonny King extra point is right through there by Diego Valencia Torres. And so Hueytown getting on the scoreboard here very late in the first quarter with the Harvey's on Noble touchdown.
Yeah, really pretty play right here. Just very well executed to set it up and great blocking by the offensive line. Watch that offensive line get out in front and everybody gets on a maroon jersey. Good job of selling it by Jaquil Rouser as well. Well, I'm tired from that drive. That was fast.
That was impressive pace and impressive execution there by Coach Patterson's
I think
team.
that was Grand Prix. I think that was more than NASCAR, my gosh. Coach Patterson does not get real emotional on the sideline. I've seen him several times, and he stays just about like that.
So here's our Sarah Automotive kickoff. Coming up and fielding it at the 20 is Arrington. And Arrington with a nice return out to about the 35-yard line, and that is where Gardendale will take over 1st and 10. 3 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Well, of course, you always want to answer right here, but it's important that when you get stung like that, you want to do one play at a time. Don't want to be in a big hurry. And we'll see what that young man right there has up his sleeves.
And Nelson will keep it on a call quarterback run, and it's a good gain on 1st down. It will also take us to the end of the first quarter. As we go to break, a look at the touchdown pass. Woods to Jaquel Rouser. Hueytown with a 7-0 lead after 1.
The perfect checking account doesn't exist. Not at a bank, that is. So why do you keep looking there? At AmFirst, you can get no minimum balance or monthly fees, an instant issue debit card, and free checks with unlimited check writing. But who doesn't want more? Like a rewards program you'll actually use, and convenient digital tools that make it easy to manage your account from anywhere. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
Training. Defined as the activity of learning or teaching the skills needed for a particular job or activity. Athletes, for example, train for years to become the best. At Banks Corals, we take a similar approach when it comes to serving our community. We understand being the best comes with hard work, dedication, and superior performance. Constant training keeps our technicians at the top. If you want the ultimate experience in home comfort, contact Banks Corals.
This is Tyler's 3rd house call today. Let's see how he does.
Nice form walking up. Big smile from Tyler as the homeowner invites him in. Puts on his boot covers and sticks the landing. Moving into discussing the issue, communication is crucial to his success. Moving on, he goes right into addressing the issue. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a true professional from the Ox Home Services team.
For gold medal service, call Ox Home Services.
And as we welcome you back to Driver Stadium at Gardendale, I'd like to thank our friends at King Boys Towing and Recovery. They play such a crucial role for us each and every week on our Thursday Night Lights AHSAA Game of the Week, providing our lifts, setting them up, and allowing us to get these great shots we bring you each week. And there's our cameraman, Gage Castaneda, here at Driver Stadium tonight.
And boy, they do a great job for us.
So Gardendale, actually that play before we went to break to end the quarter was an AmFirst 1st down for the Rockets. So 1st and 10, and about a 3-yard pickup here. You see, I thought that was Story in the game there. Kedrick Story, his first carry of the night.
He averages about 5.4 yards a carry. You know, the Gardendale offensive line has been able to get pretty good first contact with Hueytown, but Hueytown has done a great job of getting off blocks.
2nd down and 7. Story again. He's able to nudge his way just across the midfield stripe. Going to make it 3rd down and short.
You know, another factor in this game that I'm sure concerned Coach Eads coming into this, he's got to keep in mind that Gardendale has just come off of a huge game with Mountain Brook for the region championship, and now have to face another really quality opponent in Hueytown. It's an all-day sucker right there.
They spotted back at the 50, so 3rd and 5, and they're not going to get there. Only a 2-yard gain. Big hit by Keith Green. It's going to make it 4th down. And I think you make a great point, because you got to wonder about the emotional condition of this team starting this game, because that was a huge win over Mountain Brook last week, and the way they won.
Yes, and then a must game, 1-point game, went right down to the wire, and to have to go back into the well. You know, this is the week you want to play the Little Sisters of the Poor, not a team as good as Hueytown is.
So Gardendale has to punt, and a fair catch called for at the 20-yard line there by Hueytown's Elijah Hudson. So the Golden Gophers offense comes back onto the field here early in the 2nd quarter.
And we'll see if they keep that breakneck speed that they did the last series that was so effective for them.
And a good first half by this young man, Earl Woods, but we would expect nothing less with the kind of season he's had and, of course, the kind of career he's had at Hueytown. First down. And I think, Coach, at this point, the way we're seeing these first down runs pick up 4, 5, 6 yards as Hudson gets it there, this offensive line for Hueytown seems to be controlling the line of scrimmage.
No, they are. They're getting great movement off the ball, and of course, when you can stay ahead of the sticks like they are, and you've got the ability at quarterback that they have, and their other skill positions, it makes it really, really tough.
On a 2nd and 3, Woods is going to have 5 yards, and that's an Amherst first down.
You know, you've got to get them in some minus yardage situations early. That's just a quarterback follow right there, kind of a quarterback ISO off of a little play action look.
And this time Woods is unable to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Kelby Collins making the play.
More like kind of a midline look where he was trying to attack that area between the guard and tackle away from the fake. But penetration blew that play up before it ever got started.
2nd and 12. Gardendale comes after Woods, and Collins gets there again. Football came out of there. Let's see who. We've got an injured player, too, on the field. The ref actually is down on the field.
Yeah, I think he kind of got caught up into that. You know, you got a pretty good look at why Collins is so highly regarded and why he is headed to Florida, at least at this point. Just great closing speed.
Collins with 2 outstanding plays here defensively for Gardendale. But now our concern is with the official on the field.
Yeah, I was watching the trail of the play. I didn't see exactly what happened. Mickey, did you get a good look at it? Or?
It was hard to tell. It was kind of bang, bang. Wasn't sure if it was a player going down, and then I think it became obvious it was one of the officials. So we get another look at the play. The ball coming loose as Collins knocked it loose and picked up there and then just ran right into the official.
Yeah, it looked like, you know, the referee was coming in to spot the ball, and it looked like he got that leg rolled up. Sure hope not. That maybe his leg hyperextended or maybe even twisted. You know, just coming in trying to hustle, do his job, and spot the ball.
We will take the break and return in just a moment.
Retirement planning, investment planning, education planning, ad valorem, blah, 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 blah. Financial planners love to show their version of a perfect retirement, but what about your perfect retirement? At AmFirst Financial, we'll get to know you first, so we can make a plan for the person you'll be years from now, and future you will be glad we planned ahead. So call AmFirst Financial today. You'll thank you later.
Uncle Marcus, will you tell us a story about King Boys again?
Sure. Well, it all started back in 2008.
2008?
We didn't have all the fancy toy equipment we do now, but we did have a service and a desire to help our customers. You see, kids, you must train your mind and your body to be able to help the people you call customer. When they call on us, it's showtime. Understand me. King Boys' mission is to help when people are in need. So what's our motto, children?
King Boys forever!
Well, medical attention continues to be given to the injured official down on the field as play has stopped with 9:18 to go here in the second quarter. Hueytown with a 7-0 lead over Gardendale. And as we mentioned, both of these teams are headed to the postseason. Gardendale as a region champ, Hueytown as a 2nd seed, and Gardendale and Oxford, they met in the playoffs before, and they will meet in the first round next week as the Yellow Jackets will travel here to Driver Stadium to take on the Rockets.
Yeah, of course, Gardendale has been on a roll. Oxford, a traditional power, no stranger to playoff football. That'll be a good one. And
then here's a look at what Hueytown will will do in the first round. They will play Ben Russell in a very tough first-round matchup.
Yeah, and Benjamin Russell, I think, is a team that has improved every week, and they could be a dark horse in all this.
And that will actually be our game of the week next week here on WOTM. Benjamin Russell at Hueytown, and there we see the official is back up on his feet, so that is great news. Great sign to see there.
Pretty good toughness by that young man right there.
Woods throws it deep over the middle, and it wounds up being caught by Rouser after Magruder had a shot at the interception.
That's pretty good concentration by Rouser to keep his eye on the ball, but one of the fundamental things of being a defensive back is you always play from the receiver back to the ball. You needed to have a little bit closer lock on that receiver and then play back to the football. The result was a big play for Hueytown.
And another big pickup on first down as Rouser tackled again by Caden Magruder, who's all over the field here in this first half.
Well, he's done a little bit of everything. 3.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Of course, from that safety position, you're able to do a lot of that.
Woods connects with his receiver inside the 25-yard line. That is the first catch of the night for Branquez Haynes. I tell you, this Hueytown offense is clicking here in this first half, Coach.
I tell you what, they're not letting me do my job.
Woods on the keep, darts forward for about a 3-yard gain.
Well, you know, that fast tempo is very, very difficult on a football team. If you're successful, it's very difficult on the defense. If you're not successful, it's very difficult on your defense.
Woods with time, drifts to his right, and now takes off inside the 20, inside the 15, stepping out of bounds. Another nice play there by Woods, and this is what, again, we keep talking about. It's what makes these two quarterbacks so dangerous.
Well, and this is the problem. You know, I talked earlier about the discipline and containing and all that. Well, you know, all that's well and good, but you got to do it for about 70 plays. And at some point, you're going to make some mistakes, and this young man is excellent in making you pay for
and that was an first down for Hueytown. Quick pass out in the flat to Howell, and they're going to rule him down after a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, just a little hitch screen to the outside and try to cut back inside, but that knee looked like it did scrape the ground a little bit.
Second down. This is Rouser cutting back and dives to the goal line, and he is in for the Harveys on Noble touchdown.
That's that read speed sweep, and that bit inside. There was nobody on the edge. The strong safety to that side, or the rover, was blocked. And you're going to see once that ball is handed off, there's not going to be a maroon shirt to the outside except that inside safety who overran the play because of the very nice cut by Rouser. Boy, he is a good-looking running back.
And your extra point is good from Diego Valencia Torres. The Sunny King extra point makes it 14-0 Hueytown. Another look at the touchdown. Or actually, this is the long pass over the middle that got the drive started.
Great concentration by Rouser to pull that ball in, and a good job of officiating after the catch. And then here's the speed sweep. And boy, look at that cut on the safety right there. Gave him a little outside fake, stuck that foot in the ground and ran right through his inside shoulder, and that was it.
So quite a statement here in this first half for the visitors from Hueytown.
Pretty good looking running back.
Coach Eads with a look of concern on the Gardendale sideline. His offense has just been unable to really get anything going, no rhythm at all. The Hueytown defense has had something to do with that, of course.
Yeah, and the tempo has really made a big difference in this game.
And this is Caden Combs An up man on the return out to about the 40, so Gardendale will have good field position once again for Tyler Nelson and this Rocket offense to try to get something going here with about 7:15 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and this is a huge drive for Gardendale now. All the momentum now is wearing a white jersey right now, and they really need to get something going. Obviously, they want to score on this, but they at least need to get a substantial drive going. If for no other reason, let that defense catch their breath.
Nelson on first down looks to throw, and now elects to run the ball. Spins his way up to about the 44-yard line, gain of close to 5.
Well, those first down plays are so important to get you in good field position, but more importantly to get you ahead of the sticks down and distance-wise.
Second down and 5. Nelson drops, connects with Harris out of the backfield, and Harris is inside the Hueytown 40, knocked off his feet there by Cameron Kennard, but it's going to be an Amherst first down.
Yeah, real good-looking player. Just an arrow right. You can see at the bottom left of your screen, just a straight diagonal out to the flat that really stretches a flat defender. That time the Hueytown defender did not widen, and a nice throw, good catch, and really good running after the catch by Harris.
That's a part of the Gardendale offense Coach Eads said he was really happy with, was Nelson developing some chemistry with these backs out of the backfield, what we just saw there on that play. And here is Nelson keeping it this time. And now we're starting to see some really big chunks of yardage on first down for Gardendale.
Yeah, a really big hole right there. That's a quarterback counter off the speed sweep. Those linebackers have to move with the speed sweep action, and just a little bit shorthanded on the backside, well blocked, and the result is a nice gain and a big first down.
Amherst first down at the Hueytown 28. Nelson hands it off to Harris. And again, huge yardage on first down. This is a 12-yard gain and back-to-back Amherst first downs.
Well, obviously the Velcro shirt has got a lot of, the momentum shirt has a lot of Velcro on it because it just changed sides, because those guys in maroon are knocking the white shirts off the ball now on a pretty regular basis.
And first trip into the AFS red zone for Gardendale, as the Rockets try to get on the scoreboard for the first time in the game. Nelson will keep it, and not much at all, as a sea of white jerseys wrap him up for a very short gain.
Yeah, really good defensive elimination of blockers. More importantly, I tell you, I've been really impressed with that Gardendale the way that Hueytown has tackled. Not many broken tackles against some really good offensive skill players.
No gain on the play, second down and 10. Nelson gives it to Harris. Harris trying to get around the edge. Nice quick move upfield. It looked like he was going to be taken down for a loss, and he just decided to head north and south.
There's something about good running backs that, they know when they cannot get any more, so they just plant that foot in the ground, get north and south, and try to get 4 yards. Excellent job and good patience by that young man.
Third down and short. Nelson on the quarterback keep, and the surge of that offensive line is going to result in an Amherst first down. It'll be first and goal at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, at the end of that play, there were some defensive lineman numbers that were playing in the secondary, and that's not what you want from a defensive perspective. The Gardendale offensive line has really asserted themselves.
So Nelson and the Rockets offense knocking on the door here. First and goal. They give it to Harris, eludes one defender, but cannot get away from the grasp of Hueytown's Kobe Wynn.
Tried to juke out of a tackle again that time, but no dice that time.
gain on the play, 2nd and goal for the Rockets.
So no gain on that play, still 2nd and goal from the 6. Nelson throws and completes it for the touchdown as he connects with Carter Jenkins, his sophomore wide receiver for the Harveys on Noble touchdown.
Well, Nelson showed a strong arm there, throwing that out cut. It was just falling away, but that play was successful because of the quality of the route and the timing of the throw. Again, that ball is in the air before the cut is ever made. Just impossible to defend that. And boy, did Gardendale get a drive right when they needed it.
And the Sonny King extra point is good by a Sonny King motor mile. It is boomed through there to make it a 14-7 game as finally Gardendale breaks through and gets on the scoreboard with this play.
Yeah, you can see the ball's thrown as he's working away. We can't really see the timing, of the route and the ball at the same time, but that ball is released just before he makes his cut. Perfectly thrown, nice route and a good catch.
Tyler Nelson's 12th touchdown pass of the season. A good look there at Carter Jenkins.
He had 17 catches coming into the game for 177 yards.
These two quarterbacks, again, both very effective, both very similar numbers, but here Nelson a little bit smaller player, and Earl Woods of course the JSU commit at the quarterback position, and Nelson being recruited more as a defensive back. And not much on this return. Good coverage by the Gardendale kickoff team.
Well, and we'll see if Hueytown can answer.
Plenty of time and all 3 timeouts for Hueytown.
I wonder if they'll keep this fast pace.
It has definitely been the key to this first half, has been the pace with which Hueytown has operated offensively. Nice play behind the line of scrimmage, and there's your guy you talked about in the open, Kelby Collins, with another play behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just ran an inside penetrating move, came clean, and he's been impressive.
And it hasn't been 2nd and long many times for Hueytown, but it is now 2nd and 12 as they lose 2 yards there. Woods lobs it up down the far sideline, and the play well defended by Dallas Young.
Yeah, and that's a guy that's not picked on very often. Second team All-State player again, committed to Arkansas. And do we have a flag? I believe we do. I believe they called an ineligible receiver downfield, and it was declined.
3rd down and 12. Big opportunity here for this Gardendale defense. They bring the heat from the left side, and the pass is incomplete. Looked like Hueytown might have been trying to set up a screen pass, but again, good pressure by the Rocket defense.
Well, that play was either a little bit out of sync, or the intended receiver was Gerald Owens, the right guard. And I don't think that was the case. So very well defended by Gardendale, and brings up a 4th and 12. But boy, that was an impressive defensive series by the Rockets.
Here's Artrell Andrews in to punt the football on 4th and 12. And standing back deep, Jackson Firestone. We've got a stoppage of play here. And while we've got a timeout on the field, we will take time to tell you about Big Time Entertainment, Alabama's largest and newest family entertainment center. There you see the bottom left of your screen is what Coach Rhodes keeps promising every week, that he's going to come try the Ninja Warrior course that is elevated above the 85-game arcade. So
somehow that word elevated is kind of sticks in my mind.
So you're going to have to walk up a flight of steps just to get on it, Coach.
Well, you know, I mean, again, once I finish my training, I mean, that will be no step for a stepper.
We need to get some pictures of that and show them here.
Don't hold your no. That's do I detect a note of doubt in your mind?
No, I believe you can do it. Not much on this punt. So, Coach, here we go. Gardendale's going to have an opportunity here at around midfield. They've got all 3 of their timeouts left in 1:53 here.
Yeah, and I think we talked about the kicking game at the top of the show just a little bit, and it's always important when you get 2 really quality opponents together. And 1:53, plenty of time. Gardendale has all 3 timeouts still, so.
Kind of get the sense that 14-0 Hueytown lead maybe got the Rockets a little into this game here.
I think it caught their attention.
Nelson to Aiden Cups, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good defense to the end of that side, forced that thing really deep, and then the secondary support was just excellent that time.
Kind of a slow developing play there that loses yardage, so it's 2nd and long.
That young man right there has been pretty active.
2nd down and 14, back at the 47. Nelson, straight drop back. Slings it downfield, receivers there, and it's caught and dropped at the 11-yard line by Aiden Cups.
Well, he was there. Beautiful route. It looks like he had it. It looks like maybe it comes out when he hits the ground. Well, of course, when you lay out, you can't control how you hit to that ground. And even if you have a good grasp on that thing, if the point of that ball hits the ground first, really tough to hang on to.
So close. Instead, it's 3rd and 14. Hueytown rushes 4. Nelson steps up. Eye still downfield. His pass is incomplete, intended once again for Cups. So it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, he had Cups. He had him, but it was a very tough throw on the run, and the ball just sailed outside on him just a tad. Well, that good field position went for naught.
I think that 1st down tackle for loss was big for Hueytown.
I think so, very big.
So punting situation for the Rockets. No rush. And this will hit at the 21 and will take a Gardendale roll inside the 15. So the Golden Gophers will take over. 58 seconds to play here in the first half. They do have all their timeouts. How aggressive does Hueytown play it here?
You asking me as an announcer?
I'm asking you, Coach.
Go for it. Go after him.
You kind of one of those situations you want to see what happens, what you can get done on 1st down.
Yeah, I think so. You want to see if you can maybe pop something, but the ace card there, the whole card is number 1. That guy can make something happen in a hurry, and you hate to waste a minute and 7 seconds.
Here's Rouser on the pitch, and good pursuit out on the edge by the Gardendale defense.
I was really kind of surprised that Rouser stopped there and tried to start back inside. I thought he'd maybe just give him an inside move and try to turn on those afterburners and get to the outside. Try to get out of bounds.
2nd down. Rouser gets the call again. Cuts it up, and he's going to have, I think, an Amherst 1st down out across the 20, and it will be a 1st down.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be very conservative. See if they can pop a run and then maybe take a shot. Otherwise, just run this half out.
Rouser's had a very good first half.
He's impressive.
So 1st and 10 out at the 25. 30 seconds remaining. Rouser gets the call again. And his rushing numbers continue to go in the right direction. It's another Amherst 1st down after a gain of 13. He'll come off the field now as the clock continues to tick. And
pretty good field position right now, but it doesn't look like that they're going to take a shot, maybe.
Woods looks to throw it deep downfield. Receivers there and dropped at the 24-yard line. Oh my. That was number 9, DeAndre Franklin. And that will take us to the end of the first half. And a good one here in this Class 6A non-region matchup between Hueytown and Gardendale. The Golden Gophers jumping out to that 14-0 lead. Gardendale kind of getting things going there in that second quarter. And we are at 14-7 at halftime. On a beautiful night for high school football at Driver Stadium in Gardendale. And we are joined now by Hueytown coach Greg Patterson, Coach Mickey Shadrick's Coach Rick Rhodes with you. I got to ask you about that first half and the tempo you played with offensively. You seem to really control the first half with your offense.
Yes, sir. That's just part of who we are. We were like that last year. Kids came out and did a really good job of doing what we asked them to do and playing at that fast pace.
Coach, what will be the things that you're going to hit on at halftime, the things you're going to have to do in the second half to win this game?
Well, we can't get behind the sticks. You know, we had a couple of penalties there that hurt us. Stayed backed up, you know, in our own end zone. We just can't hurt ourselves. I mean, we're playing really hard and really fast. Kids are doing a good job, but we just can't keep making mistakes that's going to put us behind the chains.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you joining us here, and we'll let you get to your team here at halftime.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that is Hueytown head coach Greg Patterson joining us here at halftime. His team with a 14-7 lead over Gardendale. You're watching the AHSAA Game of the Week presented by Amherst.
Step One works so hard to get you in the perfect car. Premier Chevrolet is now Chevrolet Bessemer, powered by Step One Automotive Group. Same great people, same great community partner, plus the Step One advantage. No hassle, market-based pricing, and extra discounts for pre-orders. Visit us at ChevroletBessemer.com or scan the code to learn more about how we serve our community every day. Chevrolet Bessemer, now powered by Step One Automotive Group.
This is Tyler's third house call today. Let's see how he does. Nice form walking up. Big smile from Tyler as the homeowner invites him in. Puts on his boot covers and sticks the landing. Moving into discussing the issue, communication is crucial to his success. Moving on, he goes right into addressing the issue. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a true professional from the Ox Home Services team.
For gold medal service, call Ox Home Services.
Retirement planning, investment planning, education planning, ad valorem, blah, 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 blah. Financial planners love to show their version of a perfect retirement, but what about your perfect retirement? At AmFirst Financial, we'll get to know you first, so we can make a plan for the person you'll be years from now, and future you will be glad we planned ahead. So call AmFirst Financial today. You'll thank you later.
It's almost that time of year again. Well, we already know the outcome. Roll Tide.
No, not that game. I'm talking about scoring the Game of the Week special at Sunny King Ford. Right now, you can save $30 on any set of tires at the Quick Lane at Sunny King Ford. Just mention the Game of the Week special.
Only at Sunny King Ford. That's right, Sunny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Anniston, Oxford. Now that's a catch.
Sylacauga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
Get more this fall in Sylacauga with the power of 3. Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan. The time to buy is now, with more value and selection.
Long before we became a new car dealer, we were a used car dealer, and we know used cars better than anyone. Sarah has hard-to-find inventory arriving daily from around the country, with over 1,200 pre-owned cars and trucks to choose from.
Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga, serving Alabama since 1981.
And welcome back to Driver Stadium at Gardendale. We're at halftime of our AHSAA game of the week between the Rockets and Hueytown. Mickey Shadricks and Coach Rick Rhodes back with you. And, of course, round one of the playoffs is right around the corner. First round is next week. And all looking forward to the postseason. And we got a big show coming up for you on Saturday at 8:30 in the morning. We'll have the bracket show live from Montgomery. It'll be the official brackets for the first round of the playoffs. But, Coach, we're going to go ahead and kind of take a sneak peek at the unofficial brackets. We're going to start at Class 1A. Here's the two first-round matchups on your screen. You see Maplesville against R.C. Hatch and also Leroy against an opponent to be determined.
Yeah, of course, the 1A bracket has a lot of traditional powers in there. Maplesville has been good for a very long time. Those are three really good teams right there, but there's a lot of question marks in 1A because there's still some games that are going to determine who's going to be there.
And you see Linden and Autaugaville. We do know about that matchup, and some of the scores from the final week of the regular season have to be factored in to answer some of the questions we have in 1A. You see Elba, not sure who they will play, but we do know Sweetwater and Verbena will get together in the first round.
For most of the year, Elba has been ranked number one in 1A, and certainly they will be a factor. I think I've heard that name Sweetwater somewhere before.
Absolutely. And here's some other matchups in first-round action in Class 1A. Milria against to-be-determined opponent, and Loachapoka against Keith. And we also have Meek awaiting the announcement of who they will play. We'll get that Saturday morning, as is the case with Wadley in Class 1A. And then you have Valley Head getting set to take on Phillips, and Raglan, their opponent, still to be determined. And Spring Garden, they will take on South Lamar in the first round. And then you also have Coosa Christian matched up against Hackleburg. And we'll take one other page here in Class 1A. You have Lynn against Donahoe in the first round and Addison against Appalachian. Now moving on to Class 2A. Coach, you got B.B. Comer matching up against Lynette, and then Witzburg, their first-round opponent to be determined.
Of course, Lynette had dominated 1A for a while. They've moved up back in the playoffs. A really, really good B.B. Comer team. That's going to be a very interesting ball game.
Also out of Class 2A, Reeltown will battle Thorsby in the first round, and G.W. Long's opponent to be determined.
Yeah, again, those are traditional powers that have been in the playoffs a good bit, and it'll be fun to see how that one comes out.
Also in Class 2A, Ayrton, their opponent to be determined, and Highland Home having a good season. They will take on Isabella.
Yeah, this is as good a Highland home team as there's been in a long time. They will be a factor in this the whole way.
And we do know these two matchups in Class 2A in the first round, Clark County against Cottonwood and Vincent against Luverne.
Yeah, two powers there again. Of course, Clark County coming off that fantastic year last year. See if they can get back to the big dance again.
Class 2A, Lexington against North Sand Mountain, and Tuscaloosa Academy against Locust Fort. Also in Class 2A, there you see Fife. They'll be in there in the first round taking on Red Bay, and then Cleveland out of Blount County against a first-round opponent still to be determined.
I think that Fife team might have a chance.
Every year, you got to take a look at the 5 Red Devils. Also out of Class 2A, Southeastern against an opponent to be determined, and then Pisgah matched up against Hatton in the first round. Aliceville against West End. Falkville will battle Collinsville in the first round. And moving on to Class 3A, Dadeville against Southside Selma, and Thomasville's first-round opponent to be determined. Also out of Class 3A, St. James against Walter Welborn in the first round, and Opp and W.S. Neal. Other first-round games in Class 3A, Houston Academy against Mobile Christian, and Trinity matched up against the Sachs Wildcats.
Of course, Houston Academy and Mobile Christian, two teams that have been to the big dance in the not-too-distant past, and be interesting to see how they do.
XL waiting their first-round opponent. Randolph County and Alabama Christian will match up in the first round of Class 3A. And also Mars Hill against an opponent to be determined. Winfield will take on Geraldine.
And of course, Mars Hill has been near the top of the standings all year in 3A, and they will make a run at it, that's for sure.
And staying with Class 3A, Madison Academy against Phil Campbell, and Sylvania takes on Fayette County.
Yeah, we saw Fayette County a couple of weeks ago. Didn't fare very well at Gordo, but still a very good football team, and that's a good bracket right there.
And a lot of tradition, obviously.
Yes.
And then, of course, you've got the Piedmont Bulldogs, owners of 4 of the last 7 3A state championships. They will battle Oakman in the first round, and then J.B. Pennington against Colbert County.
Yeah, and Piedmont will be a factor again. Another really good football team. Of course, Jack Hayes is back for his senior year, and he's always been at his best in the playoffs, so we'll see how that goes.
Also out of Class 3A, how about Gordo? You mentioned we saw them a few weeks ago. Boy, they look good. The Ohatchee draws them in the first round, and then Lauderdale County awaiting their first round opponent.
Yeah, that's a really good Gordo team that we've seen. 3A really has lots of very good football teams.
And let's move on to Class 4A. How about the season Anniston has had? Wow, bringing back memories of the glory days of Anniston football. They're awaiting their first round matchup. Orange Beach will play BT Washington.
Well, if I was to be determined, I wouldn't want to play Anniston.
No.
I can tell you that, or anybody else. They looked absolutely fantastic when we saw them. Orange Beach, of course, that program is under Jamie Dubose, and they're going to be a factor as well.
And in Class 4A, American Christian will take on the Mumford Lions, and Andalusia will battle Jackson.
Yeah, good programs there. Of course, Andalusia has had another really stellar year. Jackson is football country, so that'll be a great game.
Catholic of Montgomery will take on Bayside Academy, and then Bibb County will take on the Jacksonville Golden Eagles.
Of course, Catholic from Montgomery coming off that big win against Andalusia. They probably are the team to beat in 4A right now.
And also in 4A, T.R. Miller will take on Montgomery Academy, and Hanley will match up against West Blockton in the first round.
Yeah, good football teams right there.
And also in Class 4A, Priceville awaiting their first round opponent. Same with Haleyville.
Yeah, Priceville's been high in the rankings all year. I believe they're still undefeated. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they are still undefeated, and they will be a factor.
Also, Deschler, a lot of tradition up in the Tuscumbia area. They will take on Madison County, and then Northside awaiting their first round opponent.
Yeah, I saw Northside a few weeks back, a power football team that will run it right down your throat. And, of course, in playoff football, that becomes even more important. I'd keep an eye on them.
And then Corner awaiting their first round opponent. Meanwhile, West Morgan will take on Westminster Christian in the first round of Class 4A. You've got Dora against Good Hope, and then Randolph awaiting who their first round opponent will be. Meanwhile, moving on now to Class 5A, Central of Clay will take on Hopeville, and then Gulf Shores against Carroll.
Well, of course, Central from Clay, when playoff football gets here, they seem to go into a phone booth and put on that Superman cape, so they'll be a factor. Gulf Shores having a banner year, lost one early, but they've been almost unstoppable since then. Keep your eye on those teams for sure.
And rolling on in 5A, Demopolis against Elmore County, and Eufaula against Faith Academy. Charles Henderson awaiting their first round opponent. Meanwhile, Selma will match up with Tallahassee.
Charles Henderson, of course, which made 2 consecutive playoff runs a few years back. Looks like they have their best team since then, and it'll be interesting to see how far they'll be able to go.
And in Class 5A, UMS Wright will start their playoff run against Headland, and Beauregard will match up against Marbury.
Well, and UMS Wright is in their customary place, right at the head of the pack, and they may be the team to beat in a very loaded 5A field.
Russellville will play Boaz. Pleasant Grove draws the Alexandria Valley Cubs.
Well, lots of tradition right there. Russellville with another very, very good team. Pleasant Grove and Alexandria. Those are 2 very, very good tradition-laden teams.
Arab battles East Limestone. Also Moody against Jasper in the 5A first round. Here's a couple of other matchups from 5A. Leeds against Fairfield, and Scottsboro taking on Brewer.
Yeah, Leeds, again, with another very, very good football team. Fairfield, a very young team with some speed. They could cause some problems. Those are good matchups.
Ramsey will play south side of Gadsden, and Fairview matches up against Gunnersville.
Of course, Ramsey has been consistently good over the past few years. Fairview, with that really great running back and running game, they will be a factor. And, of course, Gunnersville is always somebody to think about. Southside Gadsden, good football team as well.
We will take a break and come back and take a look at the unofficial brackets for the first round of the playoffs in Class 6A and 7A as we continue from Driver Stadium tonight from Gardendale High School.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Get more this fall in Sylacauga with the power of 3. Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan. The time to buy is now, with more value and selection.
Long before we became a new car dealer, we were a used car dealer, and we know used cars better than anyone. Sarah has hard-to-find inventory arriving daily from around the country, with over 1,200 pre-owned cars and trucks to choose from.
Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga, serving Alabama since 1981.
Training, defined as the activity of learning or teaching the skills needed for a particular job or activity. Athletes, for example, train for years to become the best. At Banks Corals, we take a similar approach when it comes to serving our community. We understand being the best comes with hard work, dedication, and superior performance. Constant training keeps our technicians at the top. If you want the ultimate experience in home comfort, contact Banks Corals.
And welcome back to Driver Stadium at Gardendale as we continue now with our AHSAA Game of the Week presented by AmFirst. We're at halftime, of course. In the previous segment, we took a look at the unofficial first-round playoff brackets for Class 1A through 5A. Now, Coach, we're going to pick it up with Class 6A, which obviously involves the two teams we have playing tonight. Here you see Hillcrest Tuscaloosa will battle Calera and Saraland against Wetumpka.
Well, this is a loaded division right here. A lot of good teams. Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, maybe the best team they've ever had. Calera, a very scrappy bunch from Shelby County. Saraland lost a very close game last week. Until then, they were the #1 ranked team in the state. So a lot of quality right there. And Wetumpka, a very, very good football program as well.
A couple other matchups. Homewood against McAdory and Pike Road battling Spanish Fort.
Yeah, really solid teams right there. I saw Homewood a couple weeks back. Really very impressive performance in the game that I saw. Pike Road lost a close one last week to Carver of Montgomery, and Spanish Fort is always a factor in 6A football.
Rolling on in 6A, Carver Montgomery, a very good team this year. They will play St. Paul's. Also Pelham, a team you know a little bit about, will match up against Northridge.
Yeah, Carver, I've heard that they have some suspension issues that which could affect their football team, but they've got those two really good defensive linemen. They'll be a factor. Pelham, a young team that has gotten better as the year has come on, and the new coach at Pelham will face his old team at Northridge out of Tuscaloosa. That'll be an interesting game.
Also in 6A, Theodore against Sidney Lanier, and Hueytown, who we have tonight. They will match up against Ben Russell. That's a great first-round matchup.
Yeah, it really is. Theodore, maybe one of the most talented teams in 6A. Hueytown we'll see a lot about tonight, and Benjamin Russell has a lot of speed, and they could very well be a factor in all this.
And that game actually will be our first-round playoff game that you can see live here on WOTM next Friday night, Hueytown against Ben Russell. Continuing now with unofficial brackets out of Class 6A, Gadsden City getting in the postseason. They will play Coleman and Mountain Brook, coming off that disappointing loss to Gardendale last week. They're the second seed in Region 5. They will match up against Pinson Valley. Boy, that is a dandy there.
Yeah, it really is. And I talked to Coach Chris Yeager at Mountain Brook earlier this week, and he's very concerned about Pinson Valley. He's not looking ahead, but he knows what kind of program that they have there. Mountain Brook, we really liked when we saw them earlier in the year. Gadsden City and Coleman, they could be a factor as well.
And continuing, boy, some great matchups in 6A. You got Hartselle. What a season they're having, just lighting up the scoreboard week in and week out. They will play Buckhorn in the first round. And Center Point looking good this year. They will play Jackson-Olin.
You know, with all the depth there is in the top 10 in 6A, really haven't probably given Center Point their due this year, but they have a fantastic football team. They could really make a run at this. You mentioned about Hartselle. You know, those two teams should get through the first round and could really be a factor in the whole thing.
That would be an incredible second-round matchup. Here you see Clay Chalkville, one of the favorites coming in the beginning of the season. They haven't really disappointed. They only have one loss on the year. They will play Parker in the first round, and Muscle Shoals matches up against Hazel Green.
Yeah, Clay Chalkville lost to Thompson in a very close game. Muscle Shoals has been a factor in playoff football. Good matchups there as well.
And a couple of more matchups out of 6A. Gardendale will play Oxford in the first round, and Fort Payne against Decatur.
Yeah, of course, Gardendale we'll see tonight, but their record has been outstanding this year. They won their region, beat Mountain Brook last week. Decatur, it kind of brings back memories of the old days where the Red Raiders were really a top program every year. We'll see what kind of run they can make.
And now we move on to Class 7A. We're going to start in the South, and we've got to mention that the 7A Region 2 is still up in the air, so teams like Central Phoenix City, Auburn, Enterprise, Prattville, they're not going to be in the brackets, but they're going to be somewhere once things get settled in that region. But here we see Foley against an opponent to be determined, and the same with Fairhope.
Yeah, two really good teams, maybe the best Foley team in a long time. Fairhope, same thing for them. They will be a factor in these playoffs.
Then you've got Mary Montgomery awaiting their first round opponent. The same with Baker.
Yeah, good solid programs, but you know that Region 2, I mean that's a buzzsaw. I mean there are a lot of good teams in that region that those could be tough matchups.
And Baker having the big win against Fairhope last week as they carry some momentum into the first round. Now taking a look at the 7A North, things a little more settled there. You see Hoover against Bob Jones, Florence matching up with Hewitt-Trussville.
Yeah, great programs there. Of course, Hoover coming off a big shutout win over previously #1 Thompson. Florence and Hewitt-Trussville. I mean, they're no strangers to playoff football. That's for sure.
Also in 7A, Alston, a region champ this year, taking on Vestavia Hills, and Thompson will battle Huntsville.
You know, Austin having another great year. Vestavia Hill has gotten better and better as the year has gone on. Thompson, frankly, should not have much trouble with Huntsville.
And that's a look at the unofficial brackets for the first round of the playoffs. And a reminder, once again, coming up Saturday morning, live from Montgomery, beginning at 8:30, we will have the official brackets presented on the Bracket Show here on WOTM. And that show will be hosted by Susan Scott Carruthers. So make sure you tune in for that on Saturday morning at 8:30 right here on WOTM. And make sure you stay tuned. We got a big second half to come from Driver Stadium in Gardendale. Hueytown and the Rockets doing battle tonight under the lights on Thursday Night Lights.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Step One works so hard to get you in the perfect car. Premier Chevrolet is now Chevrolet Bessemer, powered by Step One Automotive Group. Same great people, same great community partner, plus the Step One advantage. No hassle, market-based pricing, and extra discounts for pre-orders. Visit us at ChevroletBessemer.com or scan the code to learn more about how we serve our community every day. Chevrolet Bessemer, now powered by Step One Automotive Group.
This is Tyler's third house call today. Let's see how he does. Nice form walking up. Big smile from Tyler as the homeowner invites him in. Puts on his boot covers and sticks the landing. Moving into discussing the issue, communication is crucial to his success. Moving on, he goes right into addressing the issue. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a true professional from the Ox Home Services team.
For gold medal service, call Ox Home Services.
And we're joined now by Gardendale coach Chad Eads. Coach, Mickey Shadricks and Rick Rhodes with you. Talk about the first half. They jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Your team seemed to get some momentum going in that second quarter.
Yeah, we did. You know, we got some things going on on that last drive, but I don't think we're playing at the intensity that we need. You know, I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. Had to run all the way down here.
Coach, Rick Rhodes here. First of all, it's really good to see you again.
Hey, Coach.
You were in a lot better shape the
buddy.
last time I saw you, I think. That's
well,
no, I'm just kidding you. You know, the big win from last week, how much has that affected tonight? Has it been a real emotional hump to try to get over?
You know, we're on a short week,
Sure.
and we've heard all that stuff. And it's our kids' first time being in that #1 spot in a long time.
Yep.
And, that's why I scheduled this game, because I wanted to get us ready for the playoffs, and I think this is it's kind of the game I wanted. I want us to be in a fight tonight, getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, well, you've done a great job there, Coach. Awfully proud of what you've done there, and wish you the best of luck around the way.
Hey, Coach, thanks a lot, buddy. It's good to hear you. Hopefully after this game I'll see you.
Thanks, Coach, for joining us. All right. And back at Driver Stadium in Gardendale, it's set for the second half. Hueytown with a 14-7 lead over the Gardendale Rockets.
Interesting perspectives from both coaches. You can see why both their teams are here, and I think both of them are going to make big-time statements in these playoffs.
And there's your Sarah Automotive second half kickoff, as Hueytown will get it first to get things started, and Rouser, who had a rousing first half, with a good return, as Hueytown again jumped out on top 14-0. And an interesting stat I noticed at halftime, Coach, for what it's worth, coming into this game, Gardendale had outscored their opponents 118-42 in the first quarter, but Hueytown outscored them 14-0.
I was going to say that was not the case.
Not the case tonight.
And I think that Coach Eads hit on something very important. I mean, there's got to be a little bit of a lull from that big win, and this is new territory for them. And but to their credit, they really kind of righted the ship, and it's just a 7-point game. I think whoever grabs momentum here in this first 5 minutes of the second half, I think that's going to be super important.
Well, we talked with Coach Patterson at the beginning of our halftime break about how they played so effectively with pace in that first half, and I think that was a real key to them getting out to the 2-touchdown lead. And here is Woods spun down to the turf at the 23-yard line by Jaden Arrington.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I learned about Jaden Arrington. He can run. Here Woods bounces outside, and it's a foot race, and I mean, he just walks him. Just your basic bulldog headlock tackle right there.
Second down and 12. It's a big series, really, here for both teams.
You betcha.
Woods will keep it himself, and there is that man, Kelby Collins, crashing down and making the tackle, setting up a third down and long, and he had a really good first half, Coach.
Yeah, he really did. And, just looking at him as a prospect at 6'4", 260, he looks like a guy that could get a lot bigger and still keep his speed and quickness. Reminds me very much of a young man that we had last week from Carver, Quay Rousseau. Very similar, although I think he's quite a bit bigger than Rousseau.
3rd and 8. Woods' pass is incomplete, just too high. It was intended for number 11, Kendall Ruffin. First time he was targeted tonight. So the Gardendale defense getting the 3 and out here to start the second half.
Yeah, that's exactly the way that they would have liked this half to start. Now, the strength of the Hueytown football team is not their kicking game. Interesting to see if Gardendale can end up with pretty good field position right here.
Firestone awaiting the punt. He picks it up at the 39. And a really good job there by Firestone, getting it right out to midfield before he is wrapped up by Hueytown's Noah Eskridge.
You always cringe a little bit as a coach when that ball hits the ground and then you try to pick it up and run with it, but he got a really good hop made good judgment on the distance in between. If he had not have fielded that ball, it would have rolled for another 10 yards. So that play right there is about a 20-yard gain in that hidden yardage, which is pretty important.
So an opportunity now for this Gardendale offense as they start from midfield. Nelson with the snap and the give to Harris. And Harris hard running to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 yards on that first down carry.
You know, I think a big story in the first half was Tyler Nelson, or really the lack of Tyler Nelson. I don't mean anything negative about him. You know, he's averaging about almost 10 yards a carry, and really he was pretty quiet on the ground in the first half. Had some nice runs, but just nothing that nothing that really just popped out at you.
Keeps it here, really hard running to about the 41, which is going to bring up a 3rd and short. 3rd and about 1.5 yards. So a big possession play here for Gardendale.
Yeah, this is a really big play right here. They want to keep that ball and get some momentum and keep that ball away from that potent Hueytown offense.
Nelson keeps it himself and is not gonna get there. Pursuit just too good by that Hueytown defense.
Yeah.
First man to get back there was Keith Green, the defensive lineman who's had a big game so far.
Yeah, he really has. He's been everywhere. Well, there's a double pull to the left. You have to block back, but nobody got a piece of Green right there, and you can see he slows up Nelson, and then his buddies come in and finish everything off. Boy, what a game 66 Keith Green has had.
See how quickly he had about 6 white jerseys around the runner. Great job of getting to the football. So Gardendale unable to move the ball, have to punt it right back to Hueytown, and Hudson calls for the fair catch at the 12-yard line. And we'd like to thank our friends at Harvey on Noble in Sylacauga. They upgraded our pregame meal to steak tonight, and what a treat it was. Delicious.
And that would be upgraded with a capital U, my friend. It was
capital U, capital G, capital R.
Old English letters, the whole deal. It was as every meal we've had there all year, just great.
And Harvey's on Noble with a capital H. Visit them soon. You will not regret it. First down, Woods. Nice pass out to the 25-yard line, and it's complete to Kendall Ruffin, his first catch of the night. That's a tough throw to make. You're going full. Oh, it's actually incomplete. I thought he had caught it, but still a tough throw to make going the opposite way.
Yeah, the ball should have been caught. I don't know why you say that, Mickey. You're just running full speed to the left, have to twist your body all the way around, square your shoulders, and drive the ball right on the money. I mean, try that sometime. You'll be next to me in the hospital.
And there is Kelby Collins again, Coach. He's just unblockable here.
Yeah, he's been really phenomenal tonight.
So play behind the line of scrimmage, going to make it 3rd and long. Here comes number 17 again.
Again, he penetrates and beats the block at the line of scrimmage and just explodes into the backfield.
You see his numbers again. Just an outstanding player. 3rd and long. Woods with time. Still surveying down the field. Collins in pursuit. Woods throws it downfield, and it is incomplete.
Well,
is that a coverage play there, Coach? I mean, he had all day.
I think it was definitely a coverage play. You remember those old gym sacks that you used to, they were mesh and they had the string at the top of them? And you remember when you'd put some in there and you'd pull the rope and the noose would just get tighter and tighter? Well, that's kind of what happens right here. I mean, they kind of encircle him right here, and that noose just gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and there's just nowhere to go with it. You didn't know where I was going with that, did you?
But I get the analogy.
I didn't either.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's a fair catch caught at the 40 by Firestone. Gardendale's going to have great field position again. I'd like to thank our friends at Sarah Automotive. Sarah Ford, Sarah Nissan, and Sarah Honda. If you're in the market for a new or used car, you can talk to the pros at Sarah Automotive. I tell you, this game, the second half has started like the first half, which is a lot of defense.
I mean, it's defensive city, and field position now. I mean, they're starting. Gardendale's starting on the opponent's 40-yard line. You're not going to get better field position than this.
Nelson, first down, huge gain. Football knocked loose from behind. It's loose. Who's got it? Hueytown is going to have it.
Well, that ball was just swatted. I mean, that was a bolo punch right over the top to knock that ball loose. And Johnny on the spot was Cameron Kennard. Watch right there. Somebody's going to come right over the top of that and pull that thing out.
That was Jaden Arrington with the strip. And tough play for Gardendale, Coach. That was going to be a huge first down gain.
Yeah, and great field position. But I think Nelson will be the first to say that ball should have been a little higher and a little tighter.
Correction, that was Jalen Jones, the number 2 in the white jersey, stripping that football loose. And here is Howell turning the corner for a big gain, an Amherst first down.
Boy, this is pretty right here. Watch him come on. Watch him get around that side. Watch him turn it on right here. Boy, you can just feel the speed and explosiveness right there.
First down out at the 43. We talk about flipping the field. The turnover was a big play. Collins crashes down to make the tackle on Rouser, but a gain of about 4 on first down.
What a strange play. One of the linemen on the left side looked like he was kind of standing up and looking around, and all of a sudden the ball is snapped.
Second down and 7. As Woods fakes, keeps right up the middle. Still on his feet. And will be tackled from behind. A flag flies at the end of the play. Arrington on the stop, and we're going to have some penalty yardage, I think, tacked onto the end of this run.
Well, our official in the white jersey with number 1, I think, says it's a face mask. This is the quarterback power off of the speed sweep. And that looks more like a horse collar right there.
How quickly things have changed.
Oh, I mean, in a hiccup. I mean, it was great field position. We're driving, and all of a sudden, Gardendale is on their heels.
And Hueytown with a first down in the AFS red zone, just inside the Gardendale 11-yard line. And here is Hudson. And he is able to pick up just a couple of yards on first down.
Tough going inside. Pretty physical play between those tackles now.
Second down and 7 officially. Fake to Hudson. Woods running out to the right. And flag comes in as Woods is taken out of bounds close to the goal line by Dallas Young. We'll have to check the penalty.
Yeah, this is kind of a naked bootleg right here. Very, very well executed. Great faking. This is going to dip that shoulder.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
We haven't had many penalties in this game.
No, it's been a very clean game, and but there was a consensus in that one. It looked like there were about 16 flags that were thrown all at once. So that's a big penalty too. Big penalty.
Spotted it back at the 15. Here is Rouser getting it back in a hurry and getting in the end zone.
Well,
made that look easy for the Harveys on Noble touchdown. Rouser's second rushing touchdown of the game.
Well, it's so tough now. Those linebackers, you create that indecision. Is Woods going to keep the football and come off that power play back up inside? So you sit in there, and all of a sudden you're outflanked by a guy that can really run. You're almost in an impossible situation.
And the Sonny King extra point is good, and it is a 2-score lead again by Hueytown. As we see the strip, the turnover, and Hueytown turning it into points. Rouser into the end zone, second touchdown of the night. It's a 14-point lead again for the Golden Gophers.
Silicaga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
Well, the first 6 minutes of the third quarter has Coach Patterson feeling a little better on the sideline as the Hueytown offense able to take advantage of the turnover created by the Hueytown defense. It's 21-7 now after the second rushing touchdown of the game from Jaquel Rouser.
I think I saw a slight grin actually there for a millisecond.
Yes.
And well, you know, if you're on the Gardendale sideline, you got to be thinking, what in the world happened? I mean, we're driving, we got great field position, we're driving, and next thing you know, it's 21-7. But you know how it is in football, you got to answer, and that's what they've got to do.
So Caden Combs standing back deep. Hueytown kicks have not been that deep tonight, so Gardendale looking to field position. Starting field position hasn't been the problem for Gardendale.
No, I mean, you know, that last drive started on the 40, and haven't been a lot of turnovers in this game, but there's been a couple of crucial ones.
Our Serra Automotive kickoff from Valencia Torres. Once again, as a short kick fielded at the 21. This is Combs. Great coverage there by DeAndre Franklin.
Yeah, it really was by Franklin. It looks like he's outweighed by about 100 pounds, but he seemed to handle himself just fine.
So Tyler Nelson and this Gardendale offense comes out with feeling a little bit of pressure now as they're back down by 2 touchdowns again.
Yeah, they know they got to get something on this drive.
Nelson, his first down pass is complete out to the 33. On the reception was Justin Nelson, a sophomore wide receiver, for his first catch of the game.
Nice little out cut, good throw and catch.
Second down, Nelson zips it over the middle. It's caught at the 46. That is Logan Fitzgerald, and that'll be an Amherst first down. So 2 consecutive pass plays.
That's a great throw by Nelson. I mean, this is a dig route to the inside. Watch him zip that ball right between the safety and the inside linebacker to that side. Boy, what a great throw.
First down out at the 48.
Shoot, I could hear that ball all the way from where we were.
It was whistling.
Yep.
This is Nelson on the keep, and he's got good yardage inside Hueytown territory on first down.
Yeah, very similar, except to the other side to the play that he fumbled the ball, and that time that ball was high and it was tight.
Second down, Nelson keeps. And didn't need but a couple of yards, and he should have the Amherst first down at the Hueytown 45.
He's got it.
Hueytown 40, I should say. Very important drive here for Coach Eads' team.
Yeah, they really need. I mean, we still got a whole quarter to play, but we're getting down to under 4 minutes in the third quarter, and you're down 2 scores. You need to close that margin a little bit.
And main thing, keep that Hueytown offense on the side.
Absolutely.
Here's Harris. And he's cut down after a short gain, maybe a yard. Nice play at the point of attack over there by Hueytown's defensive front.
You know, I know this has nothing to do with the game, but I'm going to say it again. I don't know who makes that gold paint, but they really need to redo their formula. I mean, I've seen that all over the state, and that stuff doesn't stick to anything. So if you're watching, let's get it done.
2nd down and 9, and again, this running play stuffed. Tell you, number 44, Noah Eskridge, has had a pretty solid game for this Hueytown defense.
Well, their whole defense has really played well.
And again, Keith Green, we've called his number a lot, number 66. And there you see number 44. Number 38 has played well. That's Colby Wynn. So 3rd down and 8 for Gardendale. Nelson looking to throw. Pass just a bit too high at the 24-yard line. He had his receiver, Justin Nelson.
Yeah, I'm going to coach just a little bit, okay? When that ball is up high like that, if you're going to catch that football, you've got to think in terms of catching the ball from the top down, not from the bottom to top. Now watch his hands come up underneath the ball. You know, what you got to do is you got to think about wrapping those fingers around the top of the ball and pull it back down to you. That way, if you don't catch it, it's going to come straight down.
And it's 4th down. Gardendale to go for it at the Hueytown 38. Nelson gets it out of his hands quickly. It is complete. It's going to be an first down at the 28-yard line. Justin Nelson sure-handed on that play.
Well, what a great call. I mean, just the right call. And what a beautiful throw under pressure. I mean, that ball's right on the money. And I know, you know, reports we get that he's being recruited as a defensive back, but I tell you, he throws a nice ball.
Gardendale pretty good on 4th down this season, over 65% conversion. They got one there, pass to the end zone, incomplete. A flag's going to come in, and really unnecessary because the pass was out of bounds, as was the intended receiver, Justin Nelson. Coach Patterson livid.
I kind of agree with Coach Patterson on that one. To me, like just two guys playing football. I mean, there's a little bit of jostling there, but that's kind of even Steven, and the ball is.
Can you interfere out of bounds, Coach?
Yeah, in high school football, it doesn't make any difference, okay, you know, where the ball is. If you remember the Auburn-Thompson game in the state finals about 2-3 years ago, you know, the outcut. And, you know, again, I mean, I'm not trying to be critical, but I think that's pretty valid right there.
So that is a big pass interference call. It's going to give Gardendale a 1st down inside the 15, inside the AFS red zone.
Yeah, that's a big play right there.
Nelson drops back on 1st down. Here comes the heat. He eludes pressure. Now he will take off and run inside the 10. Still on his feet, and he's going to get into the end zone. What an individual effort there by Tyler Nelson.
Well, just a great effort on his part to get the ball in the end zone. A fundamental mistake by the edge rusher for Hueytown. You always got to aim for a spot about 2 yards outside the widest and deepest back. He comes too much right at his initial target. And, of course, Nelson does a great job of slipping that outside. And then a little will-o'-the-wisp here, a little shake and bake there, and we're in the end zone.
And right back in this game. Sonny King extra point attempt.
I believe this is called ebb and flow, right?
Fitzgerald knocks it through, makes it a 7-point game again, 21-14. And Coach, we talked about it all night, with the ability of these two quarterbacks to make something happen when everything else breaks down.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, I mean, exceptional right here. You know, breaks that tackle. What a nice cut right there. But again, you know, if you're the edge guy, you just cannot let this guy get out in space. You've got to force him to play in a box as much as possible. And that time, Noah Eskridge, you know, trying to do the right thing, hustling, trying to make a play, just got caught a little bit too far inside. And Tyler Nelson made him pay.
19th rushing touchdown of the season for Nelson. We mentioned he had all 4 touchdowns for Gardendale in that big win over Mountain Brook last week, including the game-winning 2-point conversion.
His stats, you know, on the year are just phenomenal. You know, again, I said at the top of the show, 273 yards total offense just by himself. Those are great numbers.
A booming Sarah Automotive kickoff drives Hudson back to the goal line. He comes out of there and returns it out across the 25. So Hueytown will take back over 1st and 10. And, you know, again, you said it, ebb and flow is exactly right, because now Hueytown, with the momentum Gardendale's got offensively, they almost have to make sure they do something with the ball.
No, absolutely. I think this is the series of the game right here. I mean, I think this is the most important series we've had tonight.
You know, Gardendale was on the move previously before they fumbled.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Says a lot about well, both teams have shown great character.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they have the teams that they have. But this is going to be a fun series right here.
Very entertaining game, as we thought it would be. Woods keeps it himself. He's down behind the line of scrimmage. And that's a nice play by number 56, Davion Sigers, a sophomore defensive lineman.
Yeah, they got in a bare front right here with 5 down linemen and then brought a 6th defender from the outside and slanted to the field. And I mean, that's just too many maroon shirts.
Got a penalty. A flag was thrown for illegal formation. They declined the penalty.
I would think so.
So 2nd down and 15. Here comes the blitz, and Rouser beats it. Midfield by Brian Gilmore.
Well, Gardendale is going to run the old NCAA blitz. They're going to bring a guy off the edge, and the linebacker in the area that is exactly where Rouser runs loops to the outside. There's no linebacker to the inside. They pick off the slant inside, and boy, he makes them pay.
Amherst first down at the Gardendale 48, and not much here. Once again, it's Kelby Collins, a defensive lineman, helping out on the play. He had some help from his teammates as well, including Caden Combs. So it'll be 2nd down and 10, and Hueytown quickly back up to the line of scrimmage. Woods will keep it himself. Boy, he hits the hole quickly, and he's got a chance to go the distance, and he will. For the Harveys on Noble, touchdown for Earl Woods.
I tell you, I think tempo had a lot to do with that. I think they got lined up in a hurry. I don't think Gardendale was able to adjust completely, and that thing was blocked clean. It's that quarterback counter again. Lead puller kicks out. Backside puller is going to lead through. You can see the 2 pullers right there to the left of your screen. Kick out, lead through, and boy, Woods, you can see there's nothing but green grass and a maroon end zone to run into.
And the Sonny King extra point is no good.
And that could be important.
Put an asterisk by that. The score will remain 27-14 after Earl Woods picks up his 16th rushing touchdown of the season. He hits this hole quickly.
I tell you what, I haven't seen many plays block cleaner than that one. I mean, nobody touches him.
Well, what do you think of this young man in a Rich Rodriguez offense at Jacksonville State?
I don't think he'll be playing free safety, I'll tell you that. No, I think he's a special guy. I mean, I really do. I've seen him play a lot. His combination of speed and running ability and his ability to throw the football is pretty special. And you know, if he keeps his head on his shoulders, and there's no reason to think that he won't, he could be a pretty special guy.
Well, we talked about the ebb and flow and the need for an answer, and Earl Woods delivers with a 48-yard touchdown run, so it's back to a 2-score game.
Well, there's a lot of ebb and flow is making his presence known as well.
And a lot of time to go in this one. An entertaining game. Harris with a nice return across the 40. Flags come in at the end. So we will see if this negates a very good return by Jonathan Harris. And it will. The initial signal is holding.
During the return, holding. Receiving team, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
All right, Mickey, I think I'm going to fasten my seatbelt here. It's getting pretty wild and woolly.
Started a little slow for these 2 high-powered offenses, but boy, they're starting to roll now.
Well, there's just too much talent in both those offenses. I mean, you know, defensively, you've got to be just about perfect on every snap.
Nelson looking, still looking. Under pressure, and helmet comes off, and he's going to be sacked, but a flag's going to come in, and that's going to be a tough break for Mikael Hines, who looked like he had a huge safety, or huge sack, I should say.
Yeah, and I think it's almost certainly a face mask. That helmet didn't come off on itself, or by itself, excuse me.
You know the young man's not trying to do this, just trying to make a play.
He's just trying to play
get that hand in the face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
That's a big penalty, obviously.
It would have been second and forever back at the 10. Instead, it's a first down for Gardendale. Out at the 25. Woods swings it out to Harris. A little high stepping there by Harris, and he's wrapped up at the 22-yard line by Alex Vassar.
Yeah, you know, every time they've cleared out with those receivers to that side, it's made for a very, very soft, flat area, and they've dumped that ball out there with good success. I think we'll see more of that.
Second down and 3 from the 32. Nelson, pass is caught out at the 37 on the reception. Second catch of the night for Carter Jenkins, a sophomore receiver, and that'll be an Amherst first down.
There's a little scat concept. One guy deep and out, one guy to the flat, one guy inside, stretch that flat defender, and very authoritative throw, and the Rockets are moving.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Nelson, his pass is dropped this time as Jenkins had it in his grasp but could not hold on.
Yeah, I think he was trying to take a little bit of a peek to see what kind of daylight he had to make a run after the catch. You got to look that thing in all the way. First things first.
So second down and 10. 13 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Nelson hands it off to Harris, and he has about 4 yards out across the 40. That's going to set up a 3rd and 6 when we resume play in the fourth quarter. That takes us to the end of the third. A big, big play in this game right there. The forced turnover by Hueytown, then the touchdown by Rouser. And then here we see a big answer by Gardendale. We've got a good game headed into the fourth quarter. Hueytown with a 27-14 lead.
The perfect checking account doesn't exist. Not at a bank, that is. So why do you keep looking there? At Amherst, you can get no minimum balance or monthly fees, an instant issue debit card, and free checks with unlimited check writing. But who doesn't want more? Like a rewards program you'll actually use, and convenient digital tools that make it easy to manage your account from anywhere. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
Uncle Marcus, will you tell us the story about King Boys again?
Sure. Well, it all started back in 2008.
2008?
We didn't have all the fancy towing equipment we do now, but we did have a service and a desire to help our customers. You see, kids, you must train your mind and your body to be able to help the people you call customer. When they call on us, it's showtime. Understand me. King Boys' mission is to help when people are in need. So what's our motto, children?
King Boys forever!
Get more this fall in Sylacauga with the power of 3. Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan. The time to buy is now, with more value and selection.
Long before we became a new car dealer, we were a used car dealer, and we know used cars better than anyone. Sarah has hard-to-find inventory arriving daily from around the country, with over 1,200 pre-owned cars and trucks to choose from.
Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Honda, and Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga, serving Alabama since 1981.
At Driver Stadium at Gardendale, heading for the fourth quarter on the AHSAA Game of the Week, presented by our friends at Amherst. 27-14 lead for Hueytown, but Coach, this doesn't really feel like a two-score game, does it? This feels like a very close game.
Yeah, it seems like it could change. Well, of course, that's been the whole night. Things have changed just like that. I mean, I don't think two scores are very safe here.
3rd down and 5. This is a big play for Gardendale.
Yes, it is.
Nelson gets it over to Harris, and he's going to get it done after the catch. Harris still on his feet inside the 40-yard line to the 36. That is an Amherst first down and a huge 3rd down conversion.
And it came down to the open field tackle, and you know, the mistake by the defender here is he gives that running back a two-way go, and the old outside fake and inside move takes care of it. And boy, what a great effort by Harris.
Amherst first down at the Hueytown 36. Nelson drops back again. Goes for the home run ball. He's got the receiver wide open. Touchdown, Justin Nelson, the Harvey's on Noble touchdown.
And, you know, they've been throwing those dig routes over the middle, and that time caught the safety creeping up just a little bit, ran the post in behind him, and boy, what a great route and really well thrown. You see the safety there working across the low middle of your screen. Well, the last rule of playing safety is deep is the deepest, and just kind of got lulled to sleep a little bit. Really well devised play, and that's just what the doctor ordered if you're a Gardendale fan.
And the Sonny King extra point is good, so it is a 6-point game now, 27-21 here early in the 4th quarter. Another look at the touchdown. This is a beautiful throw.
Yeah, it really is, right on the money. Well-designed play. You can see that those safeties have bit upfield, corners one-on-one. Pretty tough job for him, and really a nice route by, I believe that's Justin Nelson.
So Tyler Nelson, 2 touchdown passes in this game. He's got a touchdown run.
Boy, we've got 2 excellent quarterbacks in this game, don't we?
Yes, we do. Exactly what we expected going in.
27-21 with 11:24 left. Not too shabby a game here, partner.
It's got a, as we've already talked about, it's got the feel of a playoff game.
Yes.
You know, I think no matter who loses or wins this game, both teams, they can stay healthy here, Coach. Would you rather be in this type of game in the final week of the regular season before your first-round playoff game?
You know, you can make a case for any of those things, but you know, I really think that athletes thrive on rhythm.
And Rouser thriving here on this kickoff return out across midfield. What a starting field position here for Hueytown.
You know, it's kind of like if you're in a car and you're coasting downhill and you're gathering speed. Well, do you want to pull over on the side and stop and restart again and rest a little bit? No, you want to keep on hammering. You know, you don't want to get people hurt, you know, and all that stuff right there. But I mean, great teams just want to play. I mean, what is the #1 component of all great football teams? They're full of guys that love to play football. They like the game. So these guys want to play.
Well, you know, that's one thing, you know, talking about Woods and the commitment to JSU, Coach Rich Rodriguez has said often at Jacksonville State that he wants guys who don't just like football. He makes a point to say, I want guys who love to play football.
Yeah, I mean, the nature of the game is hard. I mean, there's no question about it. And you got to have guys that understand it takes hard work and stuff like that. But they just like, you know, they like to play. They love the game. And sometimes we get, as we see the offside, sometimes we get caught up in, well, hey, this guy's 6'6" and 320 and runs, you know, 4.6. Well, but if he doesn't like to play football, none of that makes any difference. And I've seen a lot of really good football players that didn't come in maybe the best looking packages.
Well, what's the saying? Hard work beats talent when talent won't work.
That's exactly right. And that's one of the beauties of this game.
1st and 10, Hueytown. Can they answer the Gardendale score? There is Kelby Collins in on another play defensively. He is just all over the field for this Gardendale defense.
He just, you know, he was the edge player that time, and he just really knifed in, came right off the hip of that offensive tackle, and you kind of want to get to a spot 2 yards behind the offensive guard, and then he just found out where the ball was and picked it up.
2nd and 4. Rouser wrapped up by guess who? Number 17.
Well, the play before, he made the play from behind the line of scrimmage. This time he crossed the face of everybody on his side of the line of scrimmage and made the play. So I guess the next thing is have somebody leap over the offensive line, and he'll make that tackle too, probably.
So it's 3rd and 3 now. you know, with that offsides penalty, it's 1st and 5. They've only picked up 2 yards, so 3rd and 3 here. Woods keeps it himself, and he's going to have the Amherst first down. Look at the hard running by Earl Woods.
Good, tough running. I was watching Collins. They lined him up inside, and he slanted to his right, and they hit right into the void that he left from. And look at this leg drive after that. That's 3 yards after contact.
Delayed give, and Rouser wrapped up for a loss back behind the line of scrimmage. And I know we sound like a broken record, but again, it's number 17.
Well, I'm just going to record tackle made by Collins and just leave. I'm done for the night. I mean, because he's making every play.
And he makes it look easy.
Yeah,
effortless almost.
I mean, he just, you know, I mean, it's like he picks up everybody, then finds the one that has the ball.
2nd and 13. Talking about making it look easy. How about this guy? Woods around the edge. It's going to be an Amherst first down. Takes a late shot, and a flag's going to come in. Unnecessary there by Dallas Young is going to cost his team 15.
Dallas, my man, I don't know what you're that for. I mean, he's clearly on the white. And you knock him into the Gatorade. I mean, that's going to be 15 every time.
After the play was over,
really nice
personal foul, late hit, out of bounds, defense, 15 yards will be added to the end of the run, first down.
And how about Woods almost kind of baiting him there, daring him?
I mean, he, you know, and then, of course, we don't know if anything was said, but you know, he kind of said, "Hey, take your shot," and he was. I mean, it was borderline, you know, green and white right there. I mean, but you're going to get that called every time. You got to be a little more patient than that.
Here is Hudson. Well, he is quick with the football as well, and he's going to have a Amherst first down as Hueytown just moving it at ease here against this Gardendale defense.
Now, we haven't seen Hudson a lot tonight. He has 252 yards on the year, but now he doesn't average 8 yards a carry. He averages 9.
This is Woods. Or pick your poison here. Woods pulls his way down inside the 4-yard line. What a determined effort here on this series by this Hueytown offense.
Well, it is, and I tell you, that speed, sweep, quarterback, power combination. Watch the linebackers right here. I mean, they can't be right. If they stay inside, the outside run gets them.
Rouser,
good push right there.
And he is near the goal line. No signal. They're going to run in and spot him at about the half-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal from inside the 1.
Well, to this point, this is the most impressive drive of the night. And it's going to either end in a score or the most impressive defensive stand we've seen of the night.
Woods is going to take it in for the Harvey's on Noble touchdown.
And again, I want to stress, you know, I mean, if you're a linebacker, I mean, in the field, you know, it's just a guessing game. Down on the goal line, you've got to go with that initial fake. And you see right there the Gardendale linebacker, Connor Hensley. You can see he hesitated a little bit. You know, he just wasn't really quite sure. And that's what the ability of those backs and that great quarterback and the schematics do to a defense. It forces you to kind of stop and wait and look, and by then it's way too late.
And the try for 2. Woods easily into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Boy, Mickey, I think I almost would have scored on that one. That was, I mean, that was too easy.
Back to a 14-point lead. Kind of makes up for that missed extra point on the previous touchdown.
That was an impressive drive. And there's the Gopher. Looks very much like the one that was terrorizing my backyard a few weeks back.
Got them Golden Gophers tonight. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, no, they have been something.
And here is Woods with a nice run right up the middle.
Yeah, and of course, you know, he carries 4 rocket ball carriers with him.
And then here's the touchdown. And, you know, Coach, you know, we mentioned, you know, this team, this Hueytown team was in the 6A state championship game last year. They lost 46-42 to Clay Chalkville. But one thing I found interesting, I know this was last year, but their first 4 games leading up to the Super 7, Eufaula, McGill-Tulane, Opelika, Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa outscored those 4 opponents 189-56. They totally dominated those first 4-round games and then scored 42 in the state championship game.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have a great scheme. It's obvious that they're blessed with some talent, but with a lot of talent. They do something. I mean, those guys aren't just guys that go out there and just play on talent. They make the right kind of cuts. They handle the football. We haven't seen a whole lot of turnovers. I mean, both these teams are extremely well coached, and it's a big reason why they are where they are.
Gardendale needs to answer in a big way, and Nelson not much going there on first down as Hueytown got good penetration from number 94, Derek Bauer.
And, you know, I thought Coach Eads said something that was very insightful. You know, if Gardendale does not rally and they lose this game, I mean, he can say to his team, well, boys, you just got to taste of playoff football, because remember, if we're going to get that blue map, you got to win 5 straight weeks in a row. There's no weak sisters. And just because you had a great game doesn't mean you still got one. You got to come back. And both these teams have shown a lot of heart. And, of course, if Gardendale can score right here, we're right back to a 1-score game.
And another big pass out of the backfield to a running back as Harris picks up a huge gain for an Amherst first down. Down to the Hueytown 37. Gardendale trying to answer again. That ebb and flow. Nelson slings it downfield to the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, had him, saw the route late, but a little bit like a switch route. But he had number 12, Aiden Cups, I think, is an inside wide receiver that had weaved outside and gotten downfield. He had him, ball just overthrown just a little bit.
Second and 10. Coach Patterson giving the official an earful. Nelson has the pass deflected by big number 66 Keith Green. Another good play by this young man.
Yeah, he's really had quite a night. And, you know, it's such an important part of modern football, the ability to get those hands up when you can't get there. I mean, that's a huge play.
So 3rd and 10. Nelson throws downfield, incomplete. Flag comes in, and we're going to have pass interference. It looked as though the defensive back, Jaquarius Brooks, had a handful of jersey.
Yeah, they ran a little hitch and go, and he was by the defensive back, and he reached out, and it's the old, well, I'm not going to give up a touchdown. I'll give you 15. Watch right here at about 5 yards. There's the hitch, and there's the go, and there's the stop.
And there's the handful of jerseys.
That's it.
And then there's the penalty.
And that's it. Hitch, go, stop, penalty. That's it.
And a down first down. Don't forget that part.
Yep, absolutely.
At the 23 of Hueytown. Nelson in some trouble now. And he's going to be sacked back at the 29-yard line. Relentless pressure there by Hueytown.
You know, I hope that our audience appreciates the high level that these two teams are playing at, not just skill-wise, but also intensity-wise. I mean, there's nobody out there that bought a ticket and is sitting around watching. I mean, these guys are playing everything they have every snap. Man, it's fun to watch.
It is impressive, the effort and the want to from these two teams.
And that's a reflection of really, you know, their character, the character of their families, the community, and boy, these coaches have done just a great job with them as well. It's a fun game to watch.
Here's Nelson. Goes deep in the end zone. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Aiden Cups.
I tell you what, now they don't mind playing Powder River right here now. It's going to be a 3rd and 17, but I feel kind of like I'm watching the old AFL back in the 60s. You know, every pass there is against the league, against the rules not to throw at least a 30-yard pass every other play, because they are stretching the field vertically.
Third and 17. just inside the 30. Nelson looking. Gets away from Green. Throws downfield, incomplete once again. The pass was intended for Carter Jenkins.
Yeah, I tell you, that was a great job by Nelson to avoid the sack of Keith Green. I thought Green had him dead to rights. He's to the left of your screen and run a little twist. He doesn't get there initially, but boy, what an effort by Green to get there, and what an effort by Nelson to get out of there.
I tell you, you mentioned the effort, and you see it in every play.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody's full speed to the ball, to the whistle.
I mean, they're selling out now. I mean, everything they have.
4th and 17. Nelson again under pressure, trying to keep the play alive. Will turn it loose, and it is intercepted by Hueytown's Cameron Kennard.
Boy, I tell you, that was a nice interception right here. I don't know if I can explain all this. Hueytown ran a double twist and then tried to settle on Nelson. Nelson's able to get out of the pocket, throws a bullet, and then just a tremendous play by Cameron Kennard to intercept that ball. I mean, there you see the double twist right here. Green's trying to get upfield. Nice job of rolling, getting out of there, and just takes a chance. And what a nice break on the ball right here. You can see that the safety right there. Story is, Cameron Kennard is not even in the picture, and high points that ball and brings it down. And what a big defensive play, and that may turn out to be the defensive play of the game.
And a big play was that first down sack that put them behind the chains too. So Hueytown takes over after the interception. First down just outside their 10. Woods fakes, keeps, and is up for about a 6-yard gain just across the 15-yard line. Another tackle for Kelby Collins.
You know, that speed sweep series where you get that wide action and then maybe a keep inside, your safeties have got to be involved in the running game. But that's hard to do because Woods can come off this and throw the ball as well.
Woods faked the pitch and takes off. Look at the speed from Earl Woods, and he will fall down across midfield and grabs his left arm. Hope this young man's okay.
I'm not sure that he didn't think that somebody was closer to him than they were. And this is the fake speed sweep, and this is the power play off that. You know, they fake the toss, wrap the guard, and this is a quarterback. That's predetermined play.
And this is Rouser on the carry as he picks up a couple of yards inside the 40. Woods is going to check out of the game. They're going to take a look at his arm.
Yeah, I don't know whether he, did something to his elbow when he came out or burnt on the carpet. We'll take a look at it. It's a left elbow. Yeah, they kind of fell right on that right there, and he kind of got that side pinched.
And about a 2-yard gain again for Rouser, going to set up third down. And I think you're right. I think Woods was expecting someone to catch him from behind and kind of went down on his own, but he's checking back in, as you can see.
Yeah, he went down and kind of had a little, his head was, slammed down to the turf, and it doesn't look any worse for the wearer now.
3rd and 6. Rouser on the handoff, and the Amherst first down inside the 30-yard line. Tackle from behind by Kamari Todd, but it'll move the chains, and the drive continues for Hueytown.
You know, the thing you try to do offensively is you try to get 11 defensive guys to react for a second, just to bend those knees slightly and look, and then try to find the football. It's too late then. And Hueytown has done the latter part of this game an excellent job of making that Gardendale defense have to be reactive instead of just reacting to the to the football.
Hudson's in the game now. Rouser gets a break. Not much drop off either. Hudson with about a 6-7 yard gain on first down.
Well, Hudson would tell you there's an improvement because he averages 9 yards a carry instead of 8.3. So But again, just to, you know, kind of belabor the point a little bit, you watch the Gardendale defense and you see those maroon jerseys are kind of squatting and looking and trying to figure out, well, which one of these guys is going to have the ball, and that's exactly what the Hueytown offense is trying to get them to do.
Milking the clock here in the fourth quarter on a potential game-clinching drive if they can punch it in. Hudson spins down inside the 15 as Hueytown with another Amherst first down inside the AFS red zone.
Tell you, those big guys up front now are doing a heck of a job. I mean, they are rolling them out of there right now. That's 2 plays in a row over the left side of that offensive line, and they knocked them out of there on both of them.
So we are down to 3.5 minutes to play in the game. This young man's been in control of this game for Hueytown all night. Mr. Earl Woods, a reigning Mr. Football, has played outstanding. Rouser, not much on that carry, but still, and Rouser's had a really good game.
Yeah, he really has.
Play loses a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Woods is headed over to a sideline. We got a timeout on the field. We'll take the break as well. Hueytown with a 14-point lead late fourth quarter.
Are you ready for the playoffs? Then WOTM is the place for you. Tune in this Friday night at 7 p.m. as veteran broadcaster Mickey Sadrix and former high school state champion and collegiate national champion Coach Rick Rhodes brings you live coverage of the AHSAA TV network playoff game presented by Amherst. Stay with WOTM Friday night at 7 p.m. for the TV24 Game of the Week presented by Sunny King Ford. The action continues Saturday morning at 9 a.m. with an encore presentation of the Drummond Company FRN Game of the Week.
And of course, the first round of the high school football playoffs get underway next week, and WOTM will follow the action each and every week leading right up to the Super 7. First round playoff game will be Benjamin Russell at Hueytown. 7 o'clock kickoff next Friday night right here on WOTM.
It'll be a good one. Well, if it keeps going like it is, it's going to be a happy night in Gopherland. Thanks in large part to that young man.
2 touchdown runs tonight for Earl Woods. He also has a touchdown pass. Just a typical day at the office for the reigning Mr. Football.
Yeah, just your basic night. I mean, you know, he's fun to watch. And
2nd down and 11. Woods keeps. Tackled from behind inside the 15-yard line there by Gardendale's Connor Hensley.
Play game's 3 yards.
I think Gardendale's used a timeout. Time not on their side at this point in the game. Coming up momentarily, we will announce our Big Time Entertainment Player of the Game. Big Time Entertainment is Alabama's newest and largest family entertainment center. Something for every member of the family, whether it's the 85 arcade games, the elevated Ninja Challenge course, the indoor go-kart arena, 18 bowling lanes, 19-hole putt-putt course. Something for everyone at Big Time Entertainment, located at exit 185 right off I-20 in Oxford.
Well, you got the right name for it, Mickey. I'll tell you that. I mean, it's about as big time as it gets.
It is big time. And Saturdays are fun at Big Time Entertainment. All the college football games are playing on over 55 TVs. So
I bet the holiday season is a pretty busy time for Big Time Entertainment.
Christmas lights go up in about a week, so quite a place to visit during the holiday season. 3rd down and 8. Woods rolling out, looking to throw, reverses his field, and a flag's going to come in. Woods is going to have a 1st and goal, but we've got to check the laundry.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a block in the back or maybe a hold. Looks like a block in the back.
See if we can see it right there.
Now, you know how you knew that was a block in the back? Because the flag was thrown at a 45-degree angle. That's always a block in the back. If it was thrown straight ahead, it's a hold. If it's thrown really high in the air, it's a personal foul.
Interesting.
I mean, that's what you learn with all this experience.
I was about to say, you've seen it all.
You don't learn anything else, but
you've seen every toss of the flag, haven't you?
You don't learn anything else, but you know the angle of the flag throw.
That is only Coach Rhodes could give us that insight. I've never heard the angle of the flag being thrown. That's interesting.
Yeah. If it's dropped right in front, it's an illegal procedure. It's nothing.
3rd down and 23 after the penalty. Woods drops back. Here comes the pressure from Gardendale. Woods will throw it incomplete down at the 10-yard line.
It's a pretty good job by the Gardendale defense of keeping him hemmed up right there and just force that throw into the sideline.
So I guess we got another flag here. I wonder how it was thrown.
I didn't see it.
Illegal man downfield. That was probably more of a drop, right?
Yeah.
Now the personal foul penalties, the throw up high up in the air.
You throw it up really high.
That's because of the energy and I don't know. Official kind of responding to the excess.
It's kind of okay. You want to do that
behavior?
We're doing this.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know why I'm showing you. Nobody can see anything. Now the one that you really like is one where they throw it at the guy. That's somebody's getting ejected when that happens.
I got you. It's personal there.
Yes.
Here's the handoff to Rouser. Well, this young man runs hard down to the 20.
I thought for a minute big Kelby Collins was going to strip that ball, but Rouser would have none of it. He said, no, sir.
So Gardendale takes over, but Hueytown did what they really wanted to do, which is burn up a good bit of this 4th quarter clock.
They ran a bunch of time. Now, what Gardendale's got to do is, I mean, yeah, they want to score as quickly as they can, but they don't want to. They just want to run their offense, get a score, and then they'll see. We probably have to onside kick and try to win this game in regulation or go to overtime.
So Nelson and the offense back on the field. 1st down just across the 20. 2:47 to play in this one. Nelson drifts to his right. Now we'll just take off and run, and we'll step out of bounds after a nice pickup on 1st down.
Hueytown is having some success with their twist, getting people, clean into the backfield, but shoot, you almost don't want to do that because Hudson is Nelson is just like Woods. He gets flushed. He's awfully dangerous on that edge.
2nd down and 1. Nelson standing in the pocket, delivers the pass downfield, incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Tried to drive that out cut in there. Do we have a flag?
Well, we have made up for our lack of flags in the 1st half. We've had plenty here in the 2nd.
Yeah. That one's going to hurt. Unsportsmanlike on someone. Notice a little drop-off on both defenses. I mean, they both look really tired, as they should be. They played the equivalent of about 3 games chasing these guys around the field.
So this hurts Gardendale as they back it up to the 15.
Yeah, we got another stoppage here. Come on, guys. We've had a great game.
So 3rd down and 16. Here Comes the pressure, and Nelson is going to be sacked inside his 5-yard line. And there you see number 55, Ja'Cory Curry, with the pressure.
Yeah, and big pressure put on by Michael Haynes. He's going to come right off the left side of your screen, just beats the tackle with a little outside kind of a bull swim combination. Runs right around the left tackle.
Hines and Curry beating together back at the 2-yard line to take care of Nelson. So a punt here for Gardendale. And this is Hudson at the 40.
Hueytown's got a great field position.
Hudson still on the move. Nice return inside the 25-yard line. So Hueytown's going to come out 1st and 10 with a minute 38 to play. And now time to announce our big-time entertainment player of the game, and not much drama to this one. We pretty much all knew it was going to be number 1.
I can't imagine why we made this pick. I don't know. No. I tell you, and tonight where there've been a lot of really great performances. I mean, this guy's just something special.
2 touchdown runs tonight for Woods, a touchdown pass, and the pace and the tempo that Hueytown played with tonight.
Yep.
I only recall 1 false start penalty, and that was when a guard moved a little too early in the game.
You know, both these teams have played really, really well, but that guy's been pretty special tonight.
So back at the 50 is where they spotted, and Rouser stopped for no gain.
Where we're getting ready for the second season to start here. I think both these teams will acquit themselves well, and you know, I think we want to say hats off to both of them. They put on a heck of a show tonight, and the boys in white and gold have really been something.
Coach Eads was clear that he wanted a good opponent in the final week, and he got it tonight. So now they'll, after this game concludes, Gardendale will move on and focus on the Oxford Yellow Jackets, who will come into Driver Stadium next Friday night for a first-round game. And as we've already mentioned several times tonight, Hueytown will be on the road, or they'll be at home as well, hosting Benjamin Russell. They will be the number 2 seed out of Region 4.
Yeah, and you know, there'll be a lot of momentum for Hueytown coming off this game if it stays like it is right now. And for Gardendale, I mean, there'll be some lessons that will be very helpful to them in the playoffs. And I'm not taking anything away from Hueytown at all. They've played a magnificent game, but very difficult in a short week, especially to come off maybe the biggest game Gardendale has won in a long, long time, and have to come back up and play 6 days later against a very, very good opponent. They'll go to school on this and they'll learn something from it.
And again, this is the matchup we were just referring to. Hueytown will host Benjamin Russell. That'll be a 2 seed versus a 3. Next Friday night, that'll be the first-round playoff game featured live on WOTM in round 1.
Yeah, and Benjamin Russell is a team that's gotten better every week. You know, first-year head coach, their Smitty Grider, came from Dothan, and they've gotten better as the year has gone on. I think that could be a very competitive game.
Rouser on the carry, taken off his feet at the 44-yard line by Brian Gilmore. And that should be the final play.
That young man's had a heck of a night.
And Hueytown looking like they are ready for the playoffs. As Coach Patterson's team jumped out to a 14-0 lead in this one. And Gardendale got to within 6 at one point, 27-21, but just too much from Hueytown tonight as they pick up the big victory. We'll come back with post-game festivities from Driver Stadium in just a moment.
accident. Bessemer Superhighway is backed up. What are we going to do?
Are you serious? Get me the King Boys.
King Boys Towing is the fastest growing tow and recovery company in Birmingham and surrounding areas for one reason. Our customers are our top priority. Whether your car's been in an accident, is stuck in the driveway and won't start, or you just need a tow to your preferred repair shop, give us a call. Our fleet of flatbed tow trucks will provide courteous and fast service. King Boys Towing, 205-428-3235.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
It's almost that time of year again.
Well, we already know the outcome. Roll Tide.
No, not that game. I'm talking about scoring the Game of the Week special at Sunny King Ford. Right now, you can save $30 on any set of tires at the Quick Lane at Sunny King Ford. Just mention the Game of the Week special.
Only at Sunny King Ford. That's right, Sunny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Anniston, Oxford.
Now that's a catch.
What an impressive way to close out the regular season for the Hueytown Golden Gophers as they come into Driver Stadium tonight in Gardendale and knock off the Rockets 35-21. And we are joined now by the head coach of Hueytown, Greg Patterson. And Coach, you jumped out to a 14-0 lead. We spoke to you at halftime about how you seemed to control the game in the first half, and you really controlled this game in all four quarters. You look like you're ready for postseason play. Let's get your thoughts on how your team played tonight.
Guys, I'm so proud of my kids. You know, we struggled out of the gate this year, starting 1-3, and a lot of people doubted us, and they just kept working like we asked them to. You know, sometimes you question yourself about scheduling these kind of games at week 10, but, you know, we needed a challenge like this. I have so much respect for Coach Eves and what he does here at Gardendale. It's a great football team we just beat, and, you know, my kids are really excited. But I'm so proud of my coaches and my kids for the way they handled this.
Coach, you're on to the second season now. It's playoff time. Tell us just a little bit about, how you're going to prepare your team now to make another playoff run. I mean, what changes, what stays the same? Just kind of take us a little bit about how you're going to go about getting ready for this championship run.
I had a little bit of trouble hearing you because of our band, but I think you were asking about how we were going to prepare for playoffs.
Yes.
As cliche as it sounds, Coach, it's just 1 week at a time. I mean, we got Benjamin Russell coming to our place. I haven't spent a whole lot of time looking at them, but obviously they wouldn't be in the thing if they weren't any good. And, they're a tradition-rich program, but it's going to be all about us. I mean, you've done this before. We stayed behind the sticks, and we lost the field position game tonight for the most part, and there's a lot of stuff like that we've got to clean up this week. Get some people healthy and back out here with us before we can try to make another run.
But, Coach, you also have a young man by the name of Earl Woods at quarterback, and he seemed to just control the game, and especially when you went tempo, Gardendale just really seemed to struggle defending you. You were getting chunks of yardage on first down. Talk about Woods, your quarterback, and then the tempo, how effective it was tonight.
Earl's just one of those special kinds of kids. I tell everybody all the time, glad he plays for us because, he's a handful with his ability to run and throw. It's and just a game manager too. He does a real good job with that, and just the tempo that we play with. It took us a few years to get our kids to buy into that because, it's a challenge at practice to practice at that tempo. Yeah. Every day, but it's just who we are and it's what we do and it's our culture now, and the kids don't know any different. So, they do a great job with that, and it's obviously tough on a defense. As a defensive guy myself, I kind of cringe watching this sometimes, but it's just a special way to get people kind of vanilla on defense. And when you got a guy like Earl, 4.0 student, great athlete, he can really get you in the right play every time.
Well, Coach, again, congratulations. Tip of the hat to you. Your team looked very good tonight, and all the credit goes to you, your staff, and your players. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate what y'all do for high school football.
All right. Thank you, Coach Patterson, joining us here. His team, very impressive tonight with a 35-21 victory over Gardendale. That'll wrap up our coverage from Driver Stadium. And thanks for tuning in tonight to Thursday Night Lights as Hueytown wins it over Gardendale 35-21. For our entire crew, so long from Gardendale.
The perfect checking account doesn't exist. Not at a bank, that is. So why do you keep looking there? At AmFirst, you can get no minimum balance or monthly fees, an instant issue debit card, and free checks with unlimited check writing. But who doesn't want more? Like a rewards program you'll actually use, and convenient digital tools that make it easy to manage your account from anywhere. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
Hidden fees.
I did it. Oh! I switched to T-Mobile Home Internet, and I am loving it.
Don't sneak up on me like that.
Why didn't you tell me to switch earlier?
There's a formula for success. It takes practice, persistence, and an unwavering drive. Together, our aspirations become reality. Every triumph has its origin story. Ours begin right here. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
ATI Physical Therapy has your back, and your hips, knees, ankles, and shoulders too. Whether you're dealing with a strain, sprain, or general pain, our talented team of therapists can help you get back to your best. We're the official physical therapy provider for the Alabama